If you've ever been swept on all of your fantasy football teams, it sucks, but it happens. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. We're back for another episode of live trading. That's the thing. Even if you get swept in fantasy football, the market is always there and you always have an opportunity to make things awesome. That is exactly what we're going to do today. We got 13 in the back. We'll see what's on deck.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, man, tons of good morning stuff here. You just love to see it. Market Sniper, I was like, I hope Market Sniper's there today. James, it's great to see you. Richard, Alex, Jonathan, Motion, Hatchet, Crimp Biscuit, Bigabees, Fairchild, AC2000, J Harris, Beach Bum, as always. Elon, Edward, let's go, folks. It is time. JJ, the other Richard, let's go. It is time to make some sense of the market and make some more money today. I know all of you folks are excited, so do me a favor and put your hands together for 13. 13, how you doing here this morning?
I feel like I don't really need an applause, but here I am. I'm doing it right. How are you guys doing today?
No, they're going to put your hands together. Okay, look, we got blasted in fantasy, so we need something to be excited about. We're going to get you some applause. No problem at all. Always good morning when you got time to hop on Benzinga Live. Indeed. Gary says, how's the coffee? Gary, it is delicious, hot, black, full of caffeine. The way coffee was meant to be, my friend. Good to see you here this morning. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY and then dive into what's going on. We don't have a whole lot of movers here today, but we do have some stuff going on, and we are not going to be short opportunities. Here is your SPY. We're still kind of holding beneath these new all-time highs that we set. The market kind of feels like it wants to go, like it's kind of like trying to blast, but it's not really doing that yet. I'll be interested to see if we get one of these huge moves or if we do end up breaking down here. SPY's up a little bit here today. It's actually off the highs that it was at earlier in the pre-market. So we'll see what happens when we actually open here. 13, what say you on the market here today?
I feel like it's probably going to end up being another boring day today, like it was yesterday, where we just kind of tested some highs, tested some lows, and almost ended up back where we started at the end of the day. It's closed slightly higher, but couldn't really break out of anything. Didn't really break down. We tested that 568.69 level, but never really moved down to 566.58. I think it's just going to be more of this slight shopping around, low volume day until we get some significant economic reports or earnings reports. That might not happen until next month when those earnings start coming in. But from what I can tell, we're just there's no excitement or agitation in the market to really get things going here. So I think it's just going to be more chop, more sideways action today. If anything, maybe a slight pop and drop, or I really don't know. The volume is just not there, and it just doesn't seem like there's anything going on until later this week when we get GDP and PCE. The reports coming out today, consumer confidence. I don't really think that's going to move the needle.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you here. I feel like it's likely to be another kind of a low volume day. Richard in the chat here saying market just feels strange lately. I would completely agree with that. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to get some type of opportunity here today. I'm sure we'll get something, and we'll look to capture that here.
Maybe there's some news. Maybe some news comes across and it gets the market going. But until we get some kind of catalyst like that, I think it's just going to be more of what we got yesterday.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. So, okay, would love to hear what you folks are actually trading here today. We're going to go ahead and run through the movers, but we don't have a whole lot, so probably going to have some time to go over some charts for things that you folks are looking at here today. Let's go ahead and just get right to it here. Movers, boom, boom, boom. Let's get the chart up here, and we're going to start with an interesting one here. This is going to be MSS, and look at that. As soon as I brought it on screen, the volume flows in and we get the highest volume stick of the pre-market here today, taking us right towards that 180 level. Okay. MSS, ticker MSS. This is Maison Solutions. Shares are trading higher after the company reported a year-over-year increase in Q1 sales results. So we got a pop yesterday in the after hours. We kind of held on to it despite drifting a little bit lower. And then today we're trading right back up into that supply area, ticker MSS. Okay, 13. What do you got on this one?
They had an earnings report yesterday, and I think that's the reason why we're seeing this movement today. But they also have a very low float of 160,000 shares.
Sir.
Now they also received a delist notice last week, so this puts it in the camp of needing to get recompliance. They got that on the 17th, by the way. They do still need cash, so I expect they'll do an offering at some point soon here, and then they may end up reverse splitting thereafter, so that they can regain compliance, because they still are pretty close to under $1. They were under $1 before this movement today. So there's always a chance it goes right back underneath $1 at some point soon. Be very careful with this one. I still think there's going to an offering is going to be made at some point so they can get that money if they don't find another way to raise it. But if we get some good movement here because of how low the float is, we're going to be trading this. Next upside target I have is 194, which was the after hours high after they had their earnings, and then 230 after that.
You know what? I actually think both of those targets are in play here, 13. First of all, Maison Solutions, this is going to be a specialty grocery store, focuses on different types of Asian food products sold here to U.S. consumers. Looking at the stock here, market cap of 14 million and revenue of almost 17 million. Not a whole lot of debt on there. So really an interesting one. I do think this is going to be a relative volume play. I would say if I had to choose one prior to the market open, this is probably the one of the day. No position yet. I'm going to wait for that opening print and see what it does, but really good stuff. Really good prep here. Ticker MSS. Mary Sierra.
Smoked Tuna gave a little bit of extra color here. The market cap is 9 million. They need to be 15 million for compliance. So raising that cash, and then if they fall under $1, I'm sure that they're going to have to reverse split. So they have several different things they need to get right here in order for them to regain compliance. So thank you, Smoked Tuna. This one is going to probably end up being a mover later on when they regain compliance. Don't know how long it's going to take.
Okay, cool. Really good stuff here. We'll see if that gives us a trade. Okay, next. It's back. Who's excited? Ticker BNZI. This is Banzai. It is back again. I suspect that we're going to have a lot of fun yelling this in the chat here today. One of the things that you'll notice from this chart here is this volume pop that we're getting this morning. Whoop, right to where this stock consolidated the last time we were trading it. That is going to be on Friday, by the way. So right to that same area, this upside area of 745. Do you think this is a coincidence? Not me, folks. Turned around at the exact same spot it turned around when we opened on Friday. So this definitely going to be a level here. You love to see it curling, trying to go through the VWAP. I think this is going to be on deck here again. What do you got?
It's moving right now. This is a bull flag that we see here on that chart that we were just showing that, and it's trying to get back over VWAP, and it looks like it's trying to get to 7 right at this moment. So we'll see if this volume continues to increase. If it breaks through 7, then it looks like 745, the pre-market high, is on deck to get taken out. This is an old ex-girlfriend, so we do have levels here on this one. 825 would be my next target after 745. But the big news with this one is that they had a debt payoff and restructuring that should really help the company with their cash flow. They do have 27 million shares, and they did a 1-for-50 reverse split last week on the 19th. But this company still does need money. So I think that they may end up trying to do an offering or raise it in some manner, because even though they did the debt restructuring, it doesn't seem like they are completely out of the woods yet. They still are losing money, and they are going to need some money to offset that until they become profit positive. But keep an eye on this one. In the pre-market, it looks like it's trying to get going.
All right. Apparently, all we need to do is put this one in focus, 13, and we start to move it. So really good breakdown there. Again, we are familiar with this one. So giddy up. Let's see. MSS looking pretty decent. Setup here looking pretty decent. Smoked Tuna Looks like he's giving it his blessing here. A lot of good stuff here in the pre-market so far. Let's keep that rolling. Next on the list here is going to be HSCS. This is Heart Test Laboratories. This looked like it kind of ramped in the after hours, consolidated a little bit here in the pre-market, but when the volume first really stepped in today, we did take a leg down. I didn't see anything fresh on this one.
Me neither.
Yesterday, got a $15 price target from Ascendient Capital. I think that happened during the day, so maybe it's getting a little bit more movement after hours here. I'm not sure on this one. I'll be honest, given the setups on the last two names that we just looked at, this one kind of a tertiary play for me. I'd be more interested in the other two. Float reading that I have here, 902,000, really kind of a low float here. This also likely going to be moving on relative volume here today. On average, stock trades 100,000 shares. And today we've already traded 5 million.
Yeah, I don't see any news on this one either, but when I look at the volume that it had yesterday, that's much higher than it normally gets. So today it might be moving on just relative volume. That's totally possible. It did a 1 for 100 reverse split back in May on the 17th. But other than that, I don't have any news on it, and I'm just not quite sure about this one. But if there's, let's see, as far as levels go, we're going to need to get back to VWAP, which I currently have at about 480. And after that, it's got a little bit of room to run up to 675. That would be the next upside target I have once it can break through VWAP and recapture 535.
Okay, really good breakdown there. Next on this list is going to be CAPR, Capricor Therapeutics. Capricor Therapeutics shares are trading higher after the company announced intent to file biologics license application for the full approval of a drug that I'm not going to try to butcher for the treatment of Duchenne muscular dystrophy cardiomyopathy. Woo, got that one here. CAPR trading up. We're actually above 8. Pretty decent setup on this one. 13. This wasn't on our list in the pre-show fist fight. Looks like it's kind of moving recently. This stock actually does have some coverage. Float about 30 million. So not gigantic, but bigger than some of these other runners that we've seen here. What do you make of this one?
Well, they didn't get a license application. They didn't file a license application. They are moving on the intention of filing a license application. So figure out that one for yourself. But this one is a 29.9 million share float. Let's just call it. They have almost a 30 million share float. Yep. But I think the really big movement that we're seeing here today is because it's squeezing. This one has a short interest of 27.5% with 29.7 days to cover, so nearly a month. If these numbers are correct, that means that we are absolutely getting one heck of a squeeze here, because I don't really think that news is anything to get excited about. Just be careful with this one. This one is very extended on the daily RSI. We are now at 86. So just keep your stops tight on this one. I think this could end up coming back in pretty quick. The float might not allow it to get pushed up too much, being that it's a little bit bigger than what we are used to dealing with. And this company does need cash. So just be careful with this one. If it continues to provide great movement, we're going to trade the heck out of it. But if it looks like it's starting to get weak, just make sure you have your stops ready.
Okay, really good stuff there. Last one on the list here, going to be JBDI. This is a recent one that we've seen on the scanner here. No fresh news on this one either. Nice move up to 180, straight up rejection, pull back beneath the VWAP, and it looks like it's trying to settle here at 150. We'll see if JBDI gets rolling here. Float 4 million. 13, you got anything on this one?
I didn't see any news, but when I looked at what the company does, we also saw one move last week that was in the same space where they do, make containers and drums and things for shipping. So we've been seeing some of those get picked up quite a bit. They've been moving more frequently, and I'm thinking that might have to do with a bit of the decoupling, China manufacturing theme that we've been seeing, where lots of manufacturing is being moved to other parts of the world, Singapore, Vietnam, Mexico, things of that nature. So with all the new port activity and all the movement away from the Chinese ports, I think we're going to maybe see some more of these manufacturers of containers and remanufacturing of containers and drums and things that are used in shipping because of that ongoing theme. So that's what I think is happening here. Don't know if that's the case for sure, but if this is going to provide the momentum, we're going to try and trade it. Just be very, very careful with this. And I personally don't trust this company because I don't have a whole lot on it.
Yeah, I'm with you on there. And it does look like we've actually got some more substantial targets.
Yes, it's right. It was a recent IPO.
Recent IPO? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think we mentioned that right at the, maybe I didn't mention IPO. I don't know. We've talked about this one before. We're actually familiar with this one. So, okay. Next on the list here, this is actually going to be our segue into some of the other stocks here is going to be yin. This is, of course, the levered bull ETF for China. Earlier today, Jay Rice telling us how to do the show here. Just start with China here today, Jay. I will say there are a number of these stocks here are moving. I'd be curious to, I normally don't trade China stocks. I have a extreme distrust for these stocks, but that doesn't mean that they can't be day trading opportunities. I know you guys are normally in BABA, PDD. What's the other one? I think there's another. I think there's three in here that this group. Baidu might be another one, and then obviously some of these ETFs. So you're seeing a huge move here in some of the China stocks. Those are likely to be in play. I guess what I'd like to get from the group here. If you're looking to trade some of the China names here today, what are you looking to trade? Are you going to trade some of these ETFs? Are you looking for individual names? What is it that you're looking for? Market Sniper here saying China unveiled its biggest stimulus since the pandemic to pull the economy out of its deflationary funk. We will see if that ends up working. One of the things that we've been doing on Happy Hour, we actually have someone that's pretty connected, and we get updates on all this stuff. What do you think here, 13? What do you think is going to happen here today? What do you think about the stimulus?
Well, I mean, that was the next step they had to take. I mean, I think they've cut interest rates on their side pretty handily, and they just need to stimulate their economy. The worry I have is that that's not going to be enough, or that money is not going to get into the right hands. I think with the level of corruption they have over there in the CCP, that money that they are using to stimulate the economy a lot of it might just end up in the pockets of higher officials. So I'm a little concerned about that stimulus going to where it needs to go. I'm still not convinced that they're turning things around quite yet. Not that this isn't a great amount of activity that we're seeing. I think we might want to ride this. I'm just a little concerned with the yin trade getting too extended. In one day, we are up $5 from about 25 where it closed yesterday, and the RSI is over 80 now. So I think if we do go higher, I'd be looking at maybe the 500-day SMA, which I currently have at 3168, or maybe as high as 3360, which is where the May 17th high was. That was actually 3369. So that's kind of where I would be looking at to maybe, if I was going to trade this, take profits or get out. I'm just not sure that this move is going to sustain for too long. It may happen, it may go on for like today and maybe tomorrow, but we've already started seeing that action yesterday. But with a lot of Chinese traders Asian investors and traders coming back to the market after they had their Moon Festival vacation. So it's just a lot of things happening all at once that is allowing China stocks to move. I think that the rally could come to close, especially with some of these these stocks getting extended, but just not sure if it's going to happen today.
Okay. Jay, I know you're giving something else here. I'd be curious to know, what are you looking at in the China space? Gary here earlier said he was looking at the ETFs to trade. So again, curious to know what you folks are looking for. Jay here saying Helene Meisler, I follow her as well. A lot of really good stuff there. Tweet from September 17th. The most crowded trade is long mag 7, short China names. Jay here saying what we are seeing is the unwind in progress. And I'll tell you something now. We continue to get that. That'll be fine with me. One of the new positions that I took yesterday, real short-term trade here, Google. And I bought this week's 155, so paid very, very, very little. Those were cheap options. I think I paid 12 cents per contract there, but got a bunch of these, looking for a move back towards that 200-day. Maybe even we snap it by the end of this week. So anyway, that's one thing I'm already positioned for. Did that late in the day yesterday. Curious to see what you folks are looking for. on some of these trades here. Do we want to take a look maybe at some of these individual China names like PDD or BABA and see how it's going? Here we go. PDD. Yeah. So PDD gapping up here, obviously, on this news, and you're going to see the same. Why is it moving for a lot of these China names here? Shares of U.S. listed Chinese companies are trading higher after the China Central Bank announced a new stimulus package. That's what we were just talking about here. PDD actually possibly into a gap here in the next couple of points. This gap fills up at 140. Anyone trying PDD for a gap? It's worth mentioning we do have several moving averages in the way of that gap getting filled. Let me turn on the 500 and see where we're at. We did just gap above the 500. We did just break out from that. So PDD, this one looks kind of enticing for a potential trade. BABA, probably the most popular one here. Looks like this is really kind of coming off the bottom above all of the moving averages. RSI a little overcooked here at 77. I don't think that matters on a day like today, though. So we'll see. Baidu was the other one that you mentioned earlier, 13. Here we go. Baidu, this actually is one of the more appealing charts, frankly. Maybe some room up to that 200-day. Anyway, I would love to know what you folks are actually trading given some of this China news here today. 13, do you have any China targets on your list, my man?
I don't have targets, but I'll tell you with PDD, when I look at this chart, 111 seems to be a pretty interesting level. If you go to a daily, draw a line there, you can see in the past, let's say the past year, that's been support and resistance. Now we're headed back up to that level. Might even touch it today. I think that's going to be a significant resistance level. And if it breaks out of there, it very well could run to the 50-day SMA, which is up near 120. But I'd be looking at that 111 for either a break or rejection. Okay.
Really good stuff there on PDD. Like I said, it's just Big of Bees saying, let's make it a China day. Bees, I guess I should call you there. What are you looking for? What are you looking to actually trade there? Okay, let's keep rolling with some of the stocks that you folks want to take a look at. Very steady. Love that handle here. Wants to take a look at OKLO. This is one we've been looking at the last several days here. Let's take a look at a 15-minute chart. See, on Friday, we did actually have a pretty decent move up, and so far we've held that. One of the things I'd be looking at here is maybe if we break down through this 815 or challenge 8, looks like that was the low from yesterday, and then break out here maybe 850. Can choose the next move here on OKLO. We do seem to kind of be in no man's land right now on this one. I don't have anything. There was no fresh news on this as far as nothing fresh here on OKLO. I've not had a whole lot of luck with this one, to be honest with you, so I'll probably stay away from it, but interested in any of the trade plans that you folks have on this one. 13, do you have anything that you wanted to cover on OKLO? Maybe something from a chart?
I wasn't looking down. I was.
It's okay. I'm randomly taking tickers from the chart or from the chat. Excuse me.
No. I was taking a look at TCOM since Big Bees was asking about that one, and he wanted to take a look at. So I was kind of just while you were looking at Oklo, I was looking at TCOM. But I wasn't.
Well, let's go to TCOM next then.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a travel agent company, the largest online one in China, and I'm thinking. Who's just gearing up to this run back to China right now? I don't see that, to be honest, with the way that they've handled foreigners visiting foreign companies and seizing their assets, throwing out national security. I don't think there's a lot of people just getting ready to run back to China. That's just my opinion. I might be completely wrong about that, but I just can't see the appeal right now, especially if their the economy's doing really, really terrible. That's just, I could be completely wrong about that, but I just don't know what the appeal is with getting on a plane and going to China right now.
Yeah, I don't either. But again, I know what we're describing here is just kind of our own personal feelings. So take it with a grain of salt. Right. But I'm with you there, 13. I'm with you there on pretty much everything that you said here.
Now, as far as how this is trading, it's getting to be, well.
Hey, Mike, like good morning.
Over bought. The RSI is 76 on the daily chart, and it looks like we're coming up to a particular level, like a breakout level, almost at I just want to say 5150 maybe. That was resistance previously back in June, and we couldn't break out of that level, and it ended up going down underneath the 200-day SMA. Now we're back up here to test this again. Not sure if we're going to get rejected or if it's going to break out. On a day like today where there's a stimulus package, it could break out, but I don't know how extended that's going to be. Maybe it goes all the way back up to the May high, which was, what was this, $58. That's entirely possible, but I would just be careful with this one.
Yep. I would as well, but all right. Anything else? Let's see. We got 3 minutes till we start here. I think there was another. Lunar is making its rounds in the chat again. Let's see. Was there anything else that I missed here? Watch VLCN Crimp Biscuit here. I swear, if this is a penny stock, man, I'm gonna be upset. It's not. All right, good deal. VLCN. I feel like we've traded this one off the relative volume scanner. This does look like it's kind of bottomed and based here for a few days. So any volume pop might actually send this one. This would be a really good candidate to kind of keep your eyes peeled off for that relative volume scanner if we get any relative volume pour into this one.
Looks like there's a form 3 that it's moving on.
I actually didn't even look at the news here on that one. I'm going to take your word for it.
That's the only thing that shows up today, unless there's something yesterday that helped it move. That might have been it too.
That's all I got. Yeah,
because yesterday they announced the launch of an HF1 electric UTV. I don't know if it moved on that yesterday, and we're just getting relative volume. It doesn't look like it really moved on that yesterday. So I guess we could probably call off relative volume. I don't know. It might be from news yesterday. It might be from the form 3. Can't really exactly say what it's moving on.
I think it definitely needs volume today in order to have a tradable move. So that would be one of the things to watch.
There's also a lot of insider buying in August. A ton of insider buying on August.
That actually could be a really good catalyst. Well, let me go back to that. Let me get one more stock in here before we open up. Cade Father wanted to know, can you check the chart for Apple? Here's the big thing for Apple. It's been stronger than some of the other tech names. And it's actually this trend line, very similar trend line that we were looking at on NVIDIA in terms of like just its slope and where it's at here. Apple obviously up near the top end of that trend line, but this is really the test for me, right? If we're able to break above this, maybe we do actually see the next leg up here in Apple, and then we can have that iPhone 16 quote unquote super cycle, if you believe in all of that stuff, maybe fuel that leg up. So we'll see if we can get above here. Chart, we're really nicely above the moving averages. I think we do have a gap below here if we continue to trade down. Phil's 222 and a half, excuse me. But let's see if we can get above that trend line. Okay, 10 seconds till we open. Let me go ahead and get my main workspace fired up here. Let's watch that relative volume scanner. Let's get MSS.
And I think Fairchild had a good point about that TCOM, that it could be from traveling out of China, not so much into it. So that was a great point. All right, so here we are. We're open, and let's see what all these movers we talked about are doing. Looks like BNZI is trying to hold VWAP at the moment.
BNZI, it looks like there's some size there at that 675 spot. If they take that, wonder if that kind of jumps to the highs on BNZI.
Looks like they're trying to take 7 here. On BNZI.
On BNZ. Here, let me put this up. I had MS. Shoot. I'm sorry I'm late on this, folks. Here we go. Here you go on BNZI. Bang. Let's see if we do take 7 here. It was that spot at 275. There it is at 7. Prince at 7. Let's see if we go through here.
Let's get in some resistance.
So here you go. Pulled back down to VWAP. So here's one of the things. This we learned this on some of these other names here. When you actually get this move, it's okay to take this, right? Okay to take or at least some of this off, especially if you plan on being active, right? If you plan on being active, just get some of those gains in your pocket before we get some of these big yanks. We'll see here if BNZI sets up to move through 7. 7 seems to be that spot. Here we go. We're going to take this out and pop above. What was the high print that we got there? 710?
And 745 is the pre-market high. Let's see if it gets, can take that out. Let's look at some of these other ones that are moving. Looks like MSSS is going 194.
MSSS, we got a ton of S's in there.
Did I say one too many?
Yeah. But I mean, that's easy here. And here we go. So this is actually what we were watching for out of the open. This is taking that formation out there. Really nice break. The next spot that we have up there, I got this at what, 193, 192, 193?
For MSS, yeah, 194 is the after hours high from yesterday. Looks like it's going to touch that. Now, I don't know if it's going to break out from there and go higher, but if it does, 230 would be my next target. Otherwise, I think we come back down to VWAP. Speaking of VWAP, looks like BNZI is still trying to decide if it's going to break out over 7 or break down beneath VWAP.
Yeah. It's I'll tell you what, this is one of those that this BNZI move, and I'm trying to go back here. MSS looks like this does want to test 2 here. So I'm really kind of I'm going back and forth on which one I want to do here. BNZI, this is good, right? This is really good. We do want to see that 7 pop again. We'll see if it ends up doing that. It seems to be getting stopped there. I don't see prints above 7D. No.
I see some size there, but they could just not be It might just be some other kind of trigger. Oh, here we go. Now we're breaking down beneath VWAP and BNZI.
Okay, now remember 650s. Tuna earlier was saying 650, your possible entry here on BNZI. We're actually beneath that now. Add a support level here on BNZI.
MSS got to 189, came back in. Lyft going this morning. Everybody's saying Lyft, LYFT.
Okay, let's see if BNZI, this is one of the support levels here, folks. If this turns around and we get some buying volume here, you might be able to have pretty good entry for a potential long. If we break down, boy, I wouldn't try to catch that knife. I really wouldn't. What was the other one that you just mentioned? Sorry?
LYFT. Lyft.
Lyft. Good old Lyft.
Looks like 1343 is the next target for this one. That's the 200 EMA on the daily.
Okay, it's 200 EMA. So here we go. So here's your daily chart, 200 EMA, 1344. That's what you had there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I
really good stuff. Next. BNZI, boy, that is all over the place. Here, let me bring that chart up here. That went to 6. Tuna called that as a level here real quick. And it bounced right back to 650. Boy, you got 50 cents a bounce in there real quick.
So the next step here is for VWAP recapture. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, and I got that VWAP there at 666. Look out. Oops, 664. Oh, no, wait. 664. 664. Beg your pardon.
Okay, let me see.
Daddy Backstrap asking for the hurricane plays. Daddy Backstrap, the only hurricane play that I have committed to memory is GNRC for Generac. That's gone back a number of years there. I don't know how great that actually is, though.
You could also look at Polar Power. That one sometimes will move with hurricane devastation. They are a portable power source company. So I think the ticker is POLA. Might be worth taking a look at that one if you're looking for some hurricane plays.
Okay, MSS, by the way, going for those highs here.
Nice.
On MSS. River, boy, you had a really short day here at the office. You just love to see this. MSS, BNZI, CAPR hit my daily goal. I'm out to have coffee. Boy, you did this without having coffee. That might be the most impressive thing about it. I need coffee in order to sit down at this terminal, but otherwise I'm going to go crazy. MSS looks like it is getting a little heavy up here near that 190 spot. It's really going to have to blow through that there. Looks like it's kind of pulling back down here. I've got the VWAP at 167, so we're still a ways away there, MSS.
We're getting Lunar mention, PLCE, that's Children's Place mention. And
Banzai just did the thing and recaptured the VWAP, just like you said. Let's see if this goes back towards 7 here on Banzai. There we go.
Boom. I'm out of that one.
I'm out of that one as well. Boy, we traded that. Here we go. 1 for 1. Great job waiting for that pullback, Tuna. Yep. You were all over being patient there. Oh, that's how we start a day, folks.
Yep.
That's how we start a day. Market Sniper, how are you doing out there? I'm just going to start randomly calling on people now. Just give people flashbacks of high school. Oh, that's
Banzai looking for that 745.
Over 7 now. Yep.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was. That was a really good call on that VWAP recapture. That gave us something to look for here. We got the elevated volume. You got the whole thing for the trade plan in there. I'm not even pissed if I'm out too early on that one.
Oh,
Market Sniper says he's watching. I got you, bro. I got you, bro.
Nice mention.
Register rings for anyone that's trading Banzai like Jane Smith. Sorry for interrupting you. 13.
No worries. Fairchild mentioning cat being cat. This thing, I can't believe I hadn't looked at it in this long. I drew a trend line of where it could break out. This thing is breaking out like a madman, but it's getting pretty extended. 75 RSI on the daily. Not sure how much more days we're going to see like this before it starts coming back in, but what a day this is having today. That's
so
CAT.
was this trend line from these tops in here?
Yes, sir.
Is it right in here about?
That's exactly it.
Got it.
All right,
Banzai 750. Who's still in? Let's go, folks. We hooked one early. You just love that.
Now we'd be looking for 823, but it's pulling. Looks like CAPR that had a pop out of the gate, and now we're beneath VWAP. MSS,
dude, let's go.
A little sideways here.
Let me bring MSS back up here.
Looking to get back above 185. If we do that, then I think we're going to try and take out that 194. That was the after-hours high from yesterday when they got their earnings. Hey, Amanda, how you doing?
Good morning. MSS compressing here, actually coming back in. This was right at the 15 EMA there, just snapped it.
And we're going to get a halt in BNZI, and there it is. Amazing.
Upside halt, Banzai. Who's going to start yelling it with me?
Not me.
Okay, so we're halted here to the upside. So I'm all out of this one, right? This is a nice little successful trade to start the day here on Banzai. So what's next here, right? So if you guys are still in this, are you lightening your position? Are you selling into that strength when the pop opens? If you're not in this and looking for this to trade, what levels are you looking for? I think maybe this comes back in, maybe 730 would be the first one. I've got VWAP here at 679. Excuse me. How about some of those EMAs, 13? What type of level would you like to see Banzai come back into?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to probably pop out of the halt. So if it does, I'd be looking at 825 to the upside. But I want to see it hold 7 if we or VWAP if we go down. That would be what I'm looking for. Okay,
so and just to be clear, you're not in this either, right?
No, I already sold.
Yeah, so we're already out. So that's kind of where I'm saying here. So if you're still in it, it looks like you have just over 8 as a potential target for a potential reload area. Let's see if it comes into any of those levels. Dom,
look at SMR.
Amazing call, guys.
Okay.
Dom, that's what we do here. That's what we do. We try to make calls for you guys to make money. We love making Chewbacca happy. It's just who we are.
SMR, this was not on our list this morning, but we have traded it. I think we were trading it last week or yesterday. This one ripped out of the gate from 1098 to 1175, and now it's slowed down trying to hold VWAP. Not sure what I haven't looked and seen what the news is, but this old ex-girlfriend is having quite a day so far.
Okay. Mike, good morning, Mike. It's great to see you. It looks like he's long SMR. If we take a look at a 15-minute chart here, take a look at a 15-minute chart here. Sure does look like this really kind of wants to crack 12, maybe go for a little bit of a run here, SMR. Mike, what's your upside target on this, if you don't mind me asking? By the way, Smoke Tuna mentioning HSCS. Let me get that ticker right. HSCS does look like this is maybe kind of coming off that bottom. This is a Smoke Tuna special right here.
Yeah, it looks like MSS is losing VWAP, getting a little weak here. It probably has too much supply, and we're going to need some more volume in order to push up through all these sell orders. So this one looking a little weak here. As far as downside goes, I'd be looking first at let's call it 163, and if that doesn't, and you can see all the sell orders piling up there, this might end up halting.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is going to halt down here, 164. It is halted indeed. Yeah. Okay, so we can assess this one when it comes out. By the way, shout out ticker BZ here. It's not us, unfortunately. I always wish it is, but shout out for this absolutely ripping here today. BZ, you just love to see all things BZ going up. You just love to see it. And then the other thing that I really quickly wanted to mention here is going to be SEAL. That's ticker SEEL. It is a penny stock. It does look like it's getting ready to, there it goes. Right as we're talking about it, breaks through that pre-market high. Honorable mention here because we had someone earlier singing SEAL lyrics. I think it was the song Crazy. Might have been Crimp Biscuit. In any case, if that's what you were doing, shout out to you. SEEL, penny stock breaking higher here. But we got all kinds of action here at 13. You just love this. You love this for an open.
Yesterday was kind of boring. I'm happy to see this this action. Let's hope it lasts. Looks like LYFT still trying to go higher. It had a 1323 high out of the gate. Came back in a little bit, got support from VWAP, and now it's trying to go back to 1323, maybe even higher.
Let's see if it takes out that 1320. Amanda here saying Q's are weak, SPY is choppy. That's exactly what I want to hear, Amanda. Let's actually, while she's mentioning that, let's check in on Google here. We are short Google via the 155 puts that expire this week. Oh, give me that 162, 160 snap flush here on Google. That would be awesome. I'll take that if the Q's continue to come in a little bit more from where we're at. Let's see, how's this position doing? I am down on this position because we popped out of the open, but let's see if we can't flush and move down here.
Looks like
PLCE back on the ramp. Sorry, I just interrupted you for like the third time in the last minute, and I apologize for that. But PLCE back at it here. Let's see if we pop above 1890.
I was just mentioning that HSCS having a hard time getting above 450. Get multiple rejections there. A little bit concerned that it might lose VWAP if we can't get back above there. It looks like, yep, there it goes. Coming down now since we've been getting rejected at 450.
Real-time calls brought to you by 13.
Yeah, but I'd like to make them a little bit earlier so that we can do something about it. There we go. BNZI, slightly
Open.
higher out of the halt. Yep, but then it came back in a little bit. Got support at 713. Now we're pushing back up higher.
I got VWAP here, 682 in case it pulls.
Yep. 825 is where we're looking for as far as an upside target goes here. Let's see if we can get that. Lyft, still not quite to 1323, but almost there. Waiting for MSS to unhalt.
Tell you what, Banzai here looks like this wants to go Banzai and just go buck above 8 here. We'll see. Yin up 20% here today, huh?
793 BNZI.
Yin, wow, gap and go here on Yin. How are some of those China names doing? Bob, a little bit of a dip and rip there. How's PDD? We in that gap yet? 109. 111 was that gap entry, right?
No, 111 was the resistance level.
Right, but here, wasn't that also the...
No.
Yeah. It was, excuse me, 1167. I apologize, 13. 1167 is the entering that gap.
Yeah.
That gap fills up here at 140. Sorry, I was off by about a $0.50 there, 13. My bad.
It's not so much that as that I was looking to the left and seeing how 111 was providing support and resistance all for the past year. But it's kind of interesting that yes, that we did kind of come up close to that level after that big drop in PDD and test that, but it tested as resistance. That's why you're seeing that price action so close to that level.
Apple, that first move here is down. Here's JBDI. This really can't get above its VWAP. Seal, I guess, trying to be a little bit more crazy as it comes in from its breakout. ONCO was the other one on there. Here's Octo. We're talking about this one recently. Here's ONCO.
Lyft finally up through that level I was mentioning and going higher, 1331 now.
That's going to be LYFT Lyft. Jay, are you still trading Lyft? Remind me. I know that was a while ago. Thought maybe you went back to the well on Lyft. Webcoin mentioning Palantir dropping. Look, that's okay. Honestly, first of all, this was above 38 earlier today. It looks like we've bounced off 37. This is down 2% here today. Look at the move that this thing has made recently. Remember, this just recently added to the S&P 500. Wouldn't be surprised if this continued to drift higher to the end of the year here. But frankly, day like today, look at this move. Like, I will take this. This to me, not even bad. And actually, let me go over to my other chart tool here, because wasn't the RSI a little bit high on Palantir here? Yeah, it was. So
it still is.
Indeed. So a pullback here, maybe even a sideways trade here for a day or two, or maybe even a couple would be really, really good to set up the next leg here on PLTR. Unfazed, not worried at all about this down move here today.
So MSS is open and lower, and it's finding some support, and actually it's making a big move right back to VWAP. So let's see if that ends up breaking through VWAP. And
Banzai, by the way, is still pulling here. Maybe 710 if this pulls another 30 cents here.
I'm being asked if OMAX is going to get to $2 today. Let's. Oh, geez.
Let me know if you need me to bust out the 8-ball.
I don't think it will. I mean, when I look at the chart, the daily chart, this thing I don't know what the drop was, but on the 17th, this had a massive drop, and it's been consolidating here, kind of putting in a bit of a bear pennant. I don't know that this, if this is going to turn around and go back up, I don't know how soon that's going to happen, but it's, I need to know more about this company because is just an ugly candle.
RFID trader asking, why are the Chinese names going higher? We covered that new China stimulus news here this morning affecting everything. Yin's the ETF, all the individual names trading higher.
Yeah, but for Omex, oh geez, let's see here.
Really quickly, while you're doing that, Trill Money Empire, you love to see that. Wants to take a look at MP. Wasn't this a name that you were recently on here?
Oh yeah,
13?
MP Materials.
Yep, MP Materials having a really nice day here today, up almost 9% here right now.
Oh,
was this news? Nope, no fresh news. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, no, this is not fresh news. Beg your pardon. Last thing we had here, Morgan Stanley issuing a $16 price target. We're only 50 cents away from that at this point.
Yeah, let me just do some things real here because I've been building a position in this for a little while.
You'll love to see it.
So that's good news for me. And boop, there we go. Profit. All right, back to this. Looks like MSS and HSCS, both looking weaker. BNZI with a knife after hitting 799. Wonder if we're going to see this thing halt. It looks like it's about to. That's BNZI, and
yep,
it's halt to the downside.
Yep, indeed, great call there, 13. Great call on that one.
Lyft still getting lifted.
I like what you did there.
And look at the, okay, so what's Bitcoin doing right now? Because BITO is on an absolute tear.
Here, I'll put this one. You know what? I'm getting really, really close to buying and holding some of this because it's got this crazy dividend payout. Here, you want a daily chart, 13? Here's your daily chart. Right now, as we speak, Bitcoin actually trading to the highs or close to the highs on volume here. It is just shy of 64K. It looks like we tested that level earlier today, but 13 looks like another 64K test coming right back.
Yeah, I think so too. It looks like we're going to, I mean, if this volume continues, it's going to violently get over 64 and hopefully take us higher. Where did we last end up on? Okay, so 64,743 was the high on Friday. Maybe we test that today if we keep up this volume and can break over 64.
Rustam throwing out the super stickers.
Nice.
Just love it.
Thanks,
just
buddy.
love it. Rustam, I'll tell you what, Rustam, you might not get enough flowers because you have been here for a while. You have been here for a while supporting everything that we do. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you.
Intel having a pretty good day. Lots of good news coming up Intel lately.
Yeah, was that recent Amazon news, right? That's kind of driving it. This also into the gap here. I wonder if this fills. Anyone like Intel long? I can't remember.
I do, given if it provides a better price to pick up more.
My whole thing was we've been talking about waiting for the management to change, waiting for the CEO to change, maybe even watch some of the insider buys there and see if that starts happening. Haven't seen that yet here, Intel.
So, because I know Rustin was asking about Omex, I'm looking at the balance sheet and it looks ugly to me. They have a lot of debt and really aren't able to, I guess, manage it too well.
MSS bouncing here.
The revenue isn't great. They're losing money, even though their losses are narrowing. That's a good sign. But when I look at the balance sheet and see the negative equity, it's not anything you ever really want to see. They're going to have to raise cash, I think, and they're going to probably have to reverse split. What is their current float? 15 million? Yeah, I think that this is going to reverse split at some point. It's an interesting space, critical mineral supply through ocean exploration.
That seems like a high capital, though, for not guaranteed returns, to be honest.
Well, this is probably going to be one of those plays that's going to end up doing really well as we start to get more and more rate cuts. This is one of those highly leveraged companies, it seems. So those are going to, all the miners and oil drillers, they will likely end up doing pretty well with these rate cuts. I think this could end up being one too. But as of right now, I don't see this getting back up to that $2 anytime soon. I think some steps need to be taken prior to that.
Okay. Okay, good stuff there. Hopefully that was the breakdown that you were looking for.
Yeah,
X-Sniper here was saying on Bitto, long-term loser, they compress price somehow every month. Goes on to say, if you guys figure out how they would do it, I would love to know. I could never figure out how they compressed it here. So first of all, I don't own this. And there's actually been another gentleman in our chat, friend of Benzinga, Jeff Dees, who has owned this for a bit and has been paid out on it. It actually doesn't look terrible here, chart-wise. I know the dividend's really good. Never owned it myself, though. 13 BRB, 1 sec.
Sure. And maybe we can try to field this question in our happy hour chat and get you a better answer on that, because I frankly don't know. But it's moving with Bitcoin, which is really nice, and it got beaten up recently, so it gave you some opportunities to get in. I think around 14, maybe lower, maybe even down like towards 11. Let's see where this was recently. So 15 was the low back in August. So that would have given you some really nice opportunities, because that was a low, and it didn't get any lower than that recently. But we'll see if we can try to figure out what's going on with that compression that you're talking about. This may not have an answer for you today, unfortunately. If MSS gets past 191, watch out. Why is it going to explode? That would be awesome. Let's see, 191. Yeah, 191, because 194 was the after hours high yesterday. And I see that was just the high, but it wasn't the close. We weren't closing those candles until we were closing in the low 180s. And I see this, I see some orders coming in, some buy orders down here. So looking like the sell supply is dwindling on the MSS. Really interested to see if we get that. Sorry.
I know. I was just going to say, are we talking about MSS? Because it sure looks like it held this. It sure looks like it's curling. It looks like it really needs to get above 168.
And HSCS also pushing up too. This could really get going as well.
Okay.
This is one of the movers from this morning.
Yep. No, I just said I'm behind. I'm just making sure I'm catching up correctly. This one here is moving. I've got VWAP at 451. It looks like this is about to get taken out. This and MSS.
This is the one that had the 450 resistance. It was getting rejected earlier this morning, and it sold off. Now we're trying to take out 450 again. Let's see if we can do this. And the big EMA that's in the way is 65 EMA on the 5-minute. That's been suppressing it.
Banzai BNZI is open here. It actually looks like it's trying to test that VWAP here.
Yeah. And yes, line out of sight. Yeah, I get that. So it's even more expensive. Mining and water. That's tough.
There you go. BNZI up to VWAP here.
Nice. It's really
actually brought in a bid there at 689. Let's see if they take 705. Tiny bit of size there that they hit earlier. Looks like that was refilled.
My goodness. HSCS, this thing, it looks like it's really going to just burst if it can get above and close over the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. It's really trying.
I feel like that I am struggling with that ticker. Here we go. So here we go on the VWAP HSCS.
Here we go. Is it going to give it or give us that action, or is it going to just pull it back down like it's been doing? 450, that's the level. Here we go. We're through it, and there we are. There was
looks like they popped through it and yanked. Did you sell into that pop? That would have been a nice move. Here we go. We might be going higher.
And then we might be going higher, but with the way that these have been rejected, I'd be careful.
There's a big pull here. Smoke Tuna was saying that this needs to take out the highs on the 1-minute. Did that here, but look at this nasty pull.
Yeah.
Look at that nasty pull.
So still, but here's the thing. It's still trying to hold above VWAP. Now, if we close beneath VWAP, that would be pretty bad.
BNZI through VWAP here now?
Perfect. Yeah, but 450, that's a big level to get over an HSCS. So
all right, that's 2 scalps on BNZI. Let's go, 13. Jacob Bear. Hey,
nice.
chest out here. His 3-0 Vikings, Jacob Bear, walking around with his chest out, and for good reason. Google small bounce off the pre-market low May test VWAP. Bear, you know me. We're short Google here. Let's see this break and flush. We really want this 160 snap to the downside here on Google.
MSS, the mover this morning that is not having a very good day. This one still cannot get above VWAP, could not recapture, and it's also breaking down beneath the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. If we go lower, I'd be looking at 133.
Okay, let's see if we can find that here on the chart. 133, right down here. Okay, that's kind of in no man's land here. 133. All right, let me catch up from the chat and make sure I hit everybody in here. You guys are talking about Bido still. Okay, lots of good stuff there. Motion, you were on BNZI. We hit that, dude. We hit that. That one's actually still going here, too. HKD on watch. You guys are bringing up HKD. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't.
Roll those dice.
I want to say that I'm not trading this here, but I'm actually feeling pretty good this morning. And I'm probably going to stay away from this one here.
CAPR, watch this one. It's trying to recapture VWAP.
Lion, by the way, saying that we're going down in an earlier round, maybe.
Going down with the whole market? That's fine.
Well, I mean, look, SPY here at the lows. So again, trying to go with what Lion said here. SPY at the lows. Let's see if we keep moving in here. Are the Qs doing the same thing? Yes, Qs here at the lows as well.
I just want to get this one mentioned. There was they were asking about SBLK, Star Bulk Carriers. This was another shipping play that we were getting asked about. The thing with this one is that I believe there's a lot of business through the Panama Canal. So if that continues to slow down with the drought they're having from the lake that helps lift the ships through that canal, that could be a problem for this one. I wish I had more on this one, but dry bulk is, the whole world needs this. So if we see some slowdown here with this, and there might be, I really don't know, to be honest with you. So I'm just talking at this point. CAPR tested VWAP, but SBLK, it could be good. I think it'll still be good if with the rate cuts. That could end up still being a very good thing with this. And I think this has a pretty decent yield. This has a dividend yield of 12.9%. So this may end up being a great value play once they become popular again. Keep SBLK on your radar. I don't have a whole lot of info on this. I don't know what their balance sheet's like. Looks like they are doing pretty good, but without looking too deeply into this company, I'd say the opportunity here lies with rate cuts. That would be my thought.
WVE, Wave Life Sciences. This looks like this is trying to go higher here. Market Sniper saying, I see 9 coming on WVE, Whiskey, Victor, Echo. Wave Life Science shares trading higher after the company announced interim data from its ongoing phase 2 Forward 53 study for Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
Jay Rice mentioning
Visa smoked on an investigation, huh? Visa, I'll tell you what, Visa being down 4%, that is a pretty big move. Smoked on Department of Justice investigation. I'll be honest, I think I'm a little bit behind on this one. Visa reportedly faces Department of Justice antitrust lawsuit alleging monopolization of U.S. debit card market amid regulatory crackdown. Jay, at what level does Visa become a buy for you, or anyone else that's looking? At what level does Visa become a buy for you? We got plunge. The plunge team is in here. SPY,
nice
big move down. Here's exactly what I wanted to see. Let's take a look at the Qs. Big move down here. We're right at that pre-market support. Oh, and there we go. Good. Further down. Let's go, boys. Let's check out Google. Oh, God, give us the 160 flush, please. We're so close.
Oh, great info replay. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm have SBLK, I think, in one of my shipping watch lists. So I do have some familiar with this one, but yeah, I don't have a whole lot of information on that. You seem to have it more dialed in than I do.
Let's go with, yes, HB. Look, we are a team here and we are all crushing it here today. By the way, shout out to the team here. I'm watching the price action and the move. Teams got their eyes saying, hey, consumer data out. Here is that USA Richmond Manufacturing Index for September, -21 versus the -13 estimate. The prior read was -19. That actually got worse from their estimate. CB Consumer Confidence for September, 98.7 versus the 103.9 estimate. The prior read was 105.6. That was light too. Both those data prints favoring a downside move, and that is what we got.
I think that manufacturing one carries more weight than the confidence one. I'm probably wrong about that, but I just don't feel like the consumer confidence metrics are really going to be impacting the market as much as the manufacturing one. We're trying to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. So seeing that that's down, that's kind of flies in the face of what the economy is trying to do, in my opinion. So I don't necessarily think the consumer confidence one is really the metric that's driving the movement here. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think the manufacturing index is more important.
BNZI looks like this is curling again here. BNZI. Tell you what, this VWAP has been the move here for it. We're starting to push away from BNZI.
And MSS is
Tom, please,
nice.
Just let's wish it into existence, man. We picked up Google puts on the effing cheap yesterday. If this breaks into a 150 handle, we are in good shape. 155 is the target. You will get that low on Goog, Ryan. You guys are all out in support of the team, and you absolutely love that. You just absolutely love that. 160. We took out 161. 160's next to the downside. Let's go.
So what was
Tony saying that the consumer confidence holds more weight?
Really? Okay. I didn't think that would be the case here, but I thought manufacturing would be more. But if I'm wrong there, then that's fine.
We try to make each other better, and personal chef Tony can make us all better by giving us food tips. Love it.
We're talking about 150s in Google. Looks like 155 could be the spot if it loses the 20 and 200 day SMAs. That would be the first level I'd be looking at. 155.
Let's get it.
TV weights CC higher. See, that's kind of what I was getting at.
TV, do you mean trading view? Or do you mean like television,
like CNBC?
Television.
CAPR lower today, or I'm sorry, lower now. Put a new low of the day in, looking weaker. Having a hard time getting back above VWAP.
SEAL, SEEL, the penny stock looks like this might be. I tell you what, this stock, the fact that I've clicked on this 9 times, I'm going to have to listen to that song by SEAL today. That song Crazy. I'm just going to have to do it. It's going to get stuck in my head. HSCS, we'll see if this actually moves through the VWAP. Remember, the last time that we've watched this has been rejected at the VWAP. So if you're going to play this curl, your first sell is going to be at that VWAP. Shaka mentioning the VKTX taking a leg lower. This is one I thought Dennis did a phenomenal job covering this one earlier here. VKTX has been on a great run. Dennis was saying earlier that anytime this thing gets to the mid 50s, it's a buy, and anytime it gets up towards 70, it's a sell. I got to be honest, Dennis seems spot on with that. Spot on with that. Good stuff there.
Taking a look at looks like I was looking at Oklo just a second ago.
Yes.
Looks like it's trying to roll over, but it's moving slowly. I think if it can still hold VWAP, we might get a bounce up to 9, but it's moving pretty slow. It's going to need more volume to maybe perform that. So be careful with that one.
Okay, I just made golf plans for Saturday, so this week really is going to be tough for this to get any better. But here we are.
Swing trade and VUZI. Let's take a look here. Now, what's the thought here? Because did this company actually stop losing money? Nope.
This is VUZI, right? We've looked at this one a number of times here, yeah.
Okay. So they had an investment from Quanta Computer a week ago. There's some filings here. Passive stake filing from yesterday. What's this about? 10% passive stake. from Quanta.
Really quickly here, Ryan, I sent you a screenshot on X about Bitto that I'm talking about. Did you send it to the right Ryan? I don't see anything. Don't often. I mean, TweetDeck normally doesn't miss things, but the internet's toxic, so maybe I missed things. I don't know. I don't see anything from you, X Sniper.
You might have something with VUZI, because the thing is that it's making higher lows, so I could see it coming back up over $1. I just don't know how much more it's going to get after that, and it's having a hard time recapturing the 20-day SMA. But once it does that, the 50's in the way at 105. I don't know what you're looking at capturing here on the swing trade, but I don't think it's going to be more than 10 cents if you do get it. I really can't give you too much of an opinion on this one. This company has a great product, but it's just had a very, very hard time staying above $1.
BNZI flagging above its VWAP here, looking like it might try and go. I'm actually thinking about maybe, can't even believe I'm going to say this, but I'm thinking about trading this again. Maybe if we can get back down closer to that VWAP at 705. Got some upper wicks here. Does look like it might go, though. Not going to donate any of the money I've made back, though. I'm going to try and be as tactical as possible.
Lucy flagging. Strengthen HSCS. Let's see what HSCS was doing.
Yeah, I'm just 750. The spot here on BNZI. I think I'm going to be able to yell Banzai again if we get above this 750. I swear.
It's still
there
the same.
And gone.
Nice.
That went too fast for me. I didn't take the trade. And now it pulled back in here. That was a no trade for me, folks. I was watching it, but it was too quick.
HSCS, that still has that same problem, trying to get back above 450. Yeah, until it can do that and actually make a close, like start closing above 450, it looks like it's just going to keep getting rejected and slap down back to VWAP. Hard to watch, but at some point, if it keeps hammering that, it could end up breaking above it and holding.
Oh, I see, Market Sniper. Here, this is the Bitto thing. I gotcha.
JP Morgan's high of day, man. I think this does not pull back very often, does it?
Okay, I don't know what I did get it here. I did get it here, X Sniper. I'm not sure what you're trying to show me on this.
BNZI trying to get to that 825, 813, the current high day.
Okay, like sorry. I'll pay attention here. I was trying to go.
Looks like MSS is trying to find a bottom here and turn around. We'll see if that's the case. Not saying that it is doing that yet.
So BNZI, so I started to look away. BNZI did the thing. So it broke that, pulled back, and then went. And I was not on that. And I've hit this twice today, so I'm okay. But here's the big move here. BNZI. We're going to halt to the upside. Yep, 842.
It's going to halt. Break through 825 did it. Next is going to be $9. Well, it hasn't halted yet. It might not. There it is.
There it is. There's the halt. Okay, let's see if we pop here out of the halt.
Waiting for everybody just to flood the the entire chat with Banzai.
Hey, look, when I saw it on the scanner, I was like, we're going to get to yell again. We're going to get to have some fun here again.
We're going to get to yell again.
And sure enough, we are.
Do you have somebody below you hitting the roof? They're stealing with the broom saying, keep it down. No bonsais here.
No, the gentleman beneath me has a drum set, so I don't think I'm going to be hearing from him. Oh, that's actually pretty funny. Okay. My money's on NEM and FVN. Banzai doesn't make sense. Look, Richard, I'm with you, man. Some of these smaller companies, they really don't make sense, but it doesn't matter. We're going to try and target whatever the market gives us is what we're going to try and take advantage of.
That's not probably a bad move there, April Fool's Poker. This thing has been, having a hard time staying up here. Like as soon as it, let me just go back and I'll give you an example. As soon as it tried to go for that pre-market high, which was like at 746 or whatever it was, that initial move up through 7 was rejected. And then when we got through that high, we traded up there for another 5 minutes, and then we got a big old knife. So I don't think that's too bad of an idea, because it seems like every time it has these breakouts, it comes right back in maybe 5-10 minutes later.
I mean, frankly, if this doesn't pop out of this halt, it's going to sink, and his short's going to be money from the get-go. Really, this comes down to what's the next direction here out of the halt. April, what I would be curious about is if this does pop, what's the plan then, right? So here, also shorted 788 to 689, so playing with house money. Okay, so first of all, so you already closed a short for profit off this last pop. So it seems to me like what you did was you shorted this move and you covered on the downdraft. And now it looks like you're trying to do the same thing. Tactically, this makes a ton of sense. Really, what this comes down to is, does this move in your favor out of the halt? So my question to you would be, if this pops higher, what are you doing? Are you adding to your short? Are you covering partial? Are you just waiting it out? What is the strategy here if this moves to the upside out of that halt, given you're looking for another regression back down to the mean here, which frankly, you've got plenty of distance for? I mean, if this thing pulls back to VWAP again, you have $1.30 on that short. And that could happen fast, real fast.
Swads,
anyway.
Welcome. I'll take a look at those in just a second. RFID asking about ACN. We've seen this one before. This one, oh wow, actually ACN, this is kind of interesting because we're on the verge of a golden cross. Now we had a death cross back in May, and it pretty much took that thing back down, created an inverse head and shoulders, resolved. Do you see all this?
I do. Look, I've got it on screen here.
Yeah.
First of all, 13, you know what, guys? We are going to ask Anne-Marie about this today. I love the fact that this has held the 200-day 13. And so what else do you see here? That golden cross? Oh, give it to me, 13.
It's going to happen. Jeez. It's going to happen either this week or next week. I'd say this week, probably in the next day or two. Depends on if we break out that 20 or not. I don't like the last week's worth of candles. It doesn't look great, but if it can continue to hold that 200, then we may end up going sideways and then finally breaking through that 20. This would be a good one to ask Anne-Marie. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if we continue to get this rounding bottom here that we got after that sell-off, it's probably going to get back up to 380 at some point. I just can't tell you how soon that's going to be. But yeah, I think this is a better one for Anne-Marie, because this one does look like it could be. What were you thinking for options?
I'm just, what am I thinking?
For options, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that we're probably going to have some type of upside move here where we have risk reduced. I mean, to me, we're currently sitting here at 338, just under 340. This thing has immediate room up to 360, and if it continues to move higher here, 380 is not out of the question. So I wouldn't be shocked if we're going to do an upside bet here. I don't know, with no what do we do? Oh, we do have earnings in 2 days, so maybe even a double butterfly on this one.
Very, very interesting one. Thank you for bringing this up. I don't know if we gave you a whole lot of great info there, but when will you hang out with Anne-Marie again? Okay, stick around.
Timing's pretty good. Timing was pretty good on this one.
You might get some better answers than what I
Yeah, I might look into this one too. Dave Penny saying, Banzai's open here.
All right.
And higher and scalped.
Yep, and going to 9, should almost there.
Okay.
See if it touches 9, but it should come back in here.
Dave here, I love this comment. Ryan has Bonham, not Benzinga, below him. Different stick hitting his floor. That would be John Bonham from Led Zeppelin, I'm assuming you're referring to. We'll take that.
Banzai just ripped through 9 up to 932.
And is going to halt again. Okay, so April. So with the short on, what's the plan here? What's the move with the short? I know. Look at this thing.
I have 1150 next.
Did we hook one again? Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Sorry. Did we hook one again, team? Did we do it again? Did we do it again?
Well, that depends on if it goes throughout the rest of the day, like some of these other ones have. Like
I have 3 executed green trades on this already, and it's 10:15 in the morning. We hooked one. Is basically what I'm getting at there. We hooked one. Is there more? 10.
Hold on a second. I need to check.
I feel like doing the Chris Tucker dance.
I don't know what that is, but I'm interested.
You don't know who Chris Tucker is?
I know who Chris Tucker is, but I don't know what the dance is.
In any of the silly ones he does from the Rush Hour series.
Okay. This one, that's not it. I was just looking to see if this was squeezing. I don't necessarily think that's what's happening here, but we're halted again. Now let me get back to that new gentleman who was asking Swads. He was asking about Zeta and VTYX. Let me take a look at Zeta here. Don't need an R in there. What's going on?
I'm laughing at something on Twitter that I probably shouldn't repeat.
Okay.
Anyway, really quickly here, April saying, I'll sit on it. Nice trade to everyone who pwned me. We are all on the same team. No one here is trying to get you. But this is why, this is the thing about the market here. Now, there's two sides to the coin for every trade is what I was trying to get out there. Couldn't really finish the thought. Now, the question, I know we're halted again here. We've talked a lot about the halt rules. God, with my signals tools having trouble. Let me actually refresh this. We've talked a lot about the halt rules of multiple halts. Sometimes they turn around. You might be able to get some of that back quickly. This is another reason why I'm asking about what the plan might be. We'll see what happens when this opens. I have no position into this halt. So we'll see here what this gives us when this comes out. I'm actually at this point with me not having a position. I'm hopefully this sells off for our friend April.
Yeah, as far as Zeta goes, you know, it got a price target of 35 recently, but it's had a really great run pretty much the entire year. This thing has been up and it has not looked back that much at all. I think that this would have to come in at some point. It's at 69 RSI. Company still isn't profitable. Maybe if we get back over 30, that would be a good time to, I don't know what your trade plan is, but if I was in this, 30 to 35 would be where I'd start easing out, because I wouldn't want to hold a company that's losing money that has had a run like this. I think you're got a great opportunity to take some great profits, but please do not, you know, take what I'm saying as advice. Seek a professional for that. I'm just looking at the chart and telling you what I'm seeing, and this has had a crazy run. But when I look at the balance sheet and I look at the income statement, they're losing $28 million a quarter. Now that's, you know, less than what they have been, so they may be on a path of profitability, but I just don't know enough about this company to really be confident in holding it further. It's had a really great run, and maybe it'd be time to lighten up. That's just my thought. Please seek a professional for robust analysis.
Robust analysis. 13. I go to you for my robust. I'm just kidding. Just trying to give all like serious disclaimers and out here joking around.
Thinking about it with the best Chris Tucker roll drop, Ruby Rod.
Ruby Rod. That is a Fifth Element mention.
Yes,
Timothy, great to see you. So I believe the chatting happens on YouTube. So I don't know how all these different things connect to each other. We broadcast to YouTube and Twitter. The chat I know is happening on YouTube, but the way I see it on my end is a conglomerate of all the different chats. So I see your X chat. If you type that in an X, it is getting through. We see you. Appreciate you, HB. Appreciate you. Look, when we got a lot of stuff going on, I'm not going to sit here and asking you for that. We're going to try and have stock call outs.
VTYX, that was a mover from yesterday, as I recall, wasn't it?
I believe that it was, yes.
They have a short interest that makes it a short squeeze candidate. So this could squeeze. But again, I think this one's going to be one of the ones where the balance sheet doesn't really make sense. Yeah, I look at this and it's losing 31, almost 32 million a quarter. That gives it about, the cash balance gives it about, you know, a little more than 1 quarter left before they need to do a raise. But I saw that they were getting money from Sanofi. So maybe they, yeah, I don't want to like run over my own words here. So I'm not sure what to make of this biotech one, but again, with the losing money every quarter, it's just not something I'd want to hold. You know, it makes a great day trade, and you might get a short squeeze out of it. You might even get that $6 price target that H.C. Wainwright and Company was reiterating. But these biotechs are just they're very dangerous to hold. Let me just put it to you that way. And I think that's about all I really should say on that, is that biotechs, you don't necessarily want to hold these. They make great day trades, especially if you know the upcoming catalysts. They can also make great swing trades. I just don't know what kind of gas is left in the tank for VTYX. And we are open with BNZ now, and it's going higher.
BNZI. Here we go.
Sorry,
1025. Up here. Are we pulling? Here's the pull.
And
We've, like I said, we've seen this before. No position for me.
Let that short print. MSS. Looks like it's trying to recover. MACD is starting to curl. This looks like we could be getting movement back to VWAP at the very least. That would give it 166, 167 price target. See if that's what we get.
BNZI, we'll see which direction this resolves. Let's see if there's anything else interesting on the scanner. TME, this is 10 cent. This moving with the China names. Futu, is this also moving with those China names? I can't remember.
That's right. Super green.
Yeah, mainland China. Yep, this moving with it as well.
All right, we're getting that sell-off now with Banzai. Hopefully April's shorts are working out for him or her. Sorry, I don't know which one you are.
MSS, let's see if this can actually move through. I've got, what, the 200 EMA here. If it breaks through that, maybe it can trade back up towards that VWAP. BNZI down to a 9 handle. Let's see if it, you know, what's interesting here is that although it's coming back in off that pop, it's doing it in such a way where it's not immediately into a downside halt. It's kind of discovering that price lower here. I think that he might actually end up getting this back. We'll see. Look, I'm not good at what he's trying to do. She is trying to do. So I don't want to give advice. I don't want to shake you out of anything. I just hope that you end up making it. I hope that you end up doing well. JBDI still under its VWAP, really unable to even get above that. CAPR, whoever hit this one earlier, great job. This thing has been a nothing since that happened.
HSCS, I don't know if this is given up for the time being or if it's done for the day, but I'm being unable to get over 450 has been the name of the game with this one this morning, and it looks like it's getting tired of trying to get above that level now. Maybe it comes back later, but for now, I'd be waiting for some support from $4. MSS still slowly making its way back up towards VWAP. Let's see what we get. When it comes to BNZI, if we close this candle red, which we have about 30 seconds left in this 5-minute candle, I think the next one could end up being green. Just wait and see if that's the case. What are we all looking at now? Selling HSCS has great potential for a long. Well, if that's the case, are you going to let it come in a little bit more? Because it looks like it wants to, go down to 4.
On this HSCS that you were mentioning here?
Yeah.
Okay. MSS, this actually looks like this is moving to the lows.
There is no drive.
Tesla. Did Tesla to really kind of turn around here, it looks like?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at the SPY weakness. I'd like to see SPY take another. It can go lower. That's what I'm hoping for. Same with the Qs here. Let that Google short pay, man. Let that Google short pay.
Let's see what my daily chart and SPY is telling me. So another test of that 568.69 previous all-time high, but beneath it now. Still have that 566.58 previous all-time high to provide support. Didn't get that yesterday. With how bad this candle looks today, it seems more likely, but until we touch it, I'm not saying that we will. Might even get a bounce there, and if we don't get a bounce there, it could be the previous all-time high, 565 at 16 cents, like we got on Friday. That was a deep breath.
Dude, I got stuff going on some of these other screens here. We had a good day in the market here. We got a market that looking like it really wants to start this pullback, which I would absolutely love. Cleaning up some positions here. I mean, we got some good stuff going on.
Brittany Tall asking, how are you predicting the candle of BNZI? Because the next one's green. So since we opened this morning, there's been a bit of a pattern here that I recognize, and that's why I said it could possibly be green. I wasn't kind of committed to that statement. But the thing here is that since we've opened this morning, every red candle we've had has been followed with a green one, and we've had very small.
What time frame?
5 minute. So out of the open, we had looks like a red candle, and then we had green, and then the next red candle we had was followed by a green, and so the next red candle we have here followed by a green. It's really just as dumb and simple as that. Is that I'm just looking at the pattern that's repeating all morning and thinking, okay, well, if we get a robust enough red candle, we could end up with a green one in the next 5 minutes, and that's kind of what we're getting right now. Even though this candle looks like it could end up turning red, that's really all it is.
There is no try. I am trading on my main account, which is a margin account. I don't use the margin, but I have it for the purpose of the account. That is all my own money, and I also have a prop account. So I am doing both of those, and I do most of the day trading in the prop, and I do a lot of the swing and investment in the main account. You'll often hear me refer to it as my main account. I do not trade on my retirement account. I have a person managing my retirement accounts.
What is the benefit of using 5 minute chart versus 1 minute? Well, for 1 minute,
I can talk about that too if you want.
Go ahead. Why don't you go ahead and start?
Yeah, so I use 1 minutes frequently, and I guess I'll just start there. The reason I use 1 minutes is because I want as much breakdown from the different candles as possible. However, when you actually look at some of these, right, you can actually kind of get what I like to call it a smoothing out by using some of those higher time frames. This is also why I went to the 3 minute chart that Smoke Tuna recommended. So you'll see here, 5 minute, you're going to get more of kind of a smooth pattern. This might help you in pattern identification or level identification, but you're not going to get that really good breakdown that you are on the 1 minute candles. You're not going to get that movement or those levels like as crisp as you could, as fast as you could. You will often find yourself waiting for a 5 minute candle period to close where you've had several 1 minute candles close in that same time period. I think that the way to go is actually to use all of these, not one or the other, but instead all of them. BNZI new highs here.
Yeah, when it comes to trading, the time frames that I use the most are 1, 5, 15, 30, an hour, and daily. But I'm almost always on my 5 minute. And to Ryan's point about smoothing out, it does help me get an idea of when to get in, when to get out, when what the market's doing. And I know that for some folks, the 3 minutes better or the 1 minute's better. As far as what the big thing for the 5 minute for me is that it's where I learned a lot of trading. It's where I've
Same, by the way.
What? I'm sorry.
I said same. The first intraday chart that I used regularly was in fact the 5 minute.
Yeah. So there's a lot of history, when it comes to how I've learned how to trade and using that. So it's like a preference at this point. But when I do look at other time frames, I'm looking for EMA movement. I'm looking for other patterns, because there might be something that the 15 minute is showing me over a longer period of time that the 5 minute isn't showing me over a shorter period of time. So using different time frames is helpful, but I usually just stick with the 5 minute mostly. I don't know if that necessarily answered your question, but I just prefer the 5 minute more than anything else. And I use other time frames to, kind of see if I'm missing anything, if that makes sense.
Okay. By the way, one more thing. Here is your big pull on BNZI. This is, I think, what April was waiting for. And you might get more here. It
popped the 1059 before it came back in.
Yeah, of course it did. That's just this is why this is difficult, by the way. And actually, we should all give shout outs to April for being able to handle a short like that and being able to sit, I would be freaking out. I'm just going to straight up admit that. One more thing here about the 1 minute chart. I actually did not start using 1 minute chart until I started to do these really quick day trading range break scalps. That's where I found the benefit. Otherwise, I'm with 13. I kind of want to use some of those other ones. Anyway.
Yeah, 1 minute with here comes MSS. 1 minute was it really can get your nerves going. So it's not something I want to look at.
Shake yourself out of things. That's
absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, and I've done that. You guys have watched me do that.
You can. I think on the 1 minute, you there is a potential for mistakes to be made. So sometimes the longer time frames kind of help you not make those mistakes by looking at them. BNZI, by the way, when I was talking about a green candle following a red candle, it went from green to red, like at the very end of that. So this is a change in that pattern. I'd be thinking that this is where we reverse based on that. So we could be end up going lower from here, but I don't know that we break down from VWAP.
OKLO. Wow. For those of you that were trading this one, this has had a great move here today. Back into the 9 handle. This is about the price when I first traded this, by the way. We're back.
The oil trade is back on war breakout between Hezbollah and Zion.
Walter's telling me to pull up a 15-second chart. I'd rather not do that. I want to give my heart as much chance as it can at surviving. So I drink hibiscus and I don't use 15-second charts. Oh, that's funny. JBDI maybe going back to its VWAP here on JBDI. VTYX, this was mentioned earlier, this at the highs. Lunar getting mentioned here by thinking about it. What's Lunar even doing here today? This is basically flat.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's really doing anything at the moment.
VWAP explanation for newbies. VWAP, of course, volume weighted average price. Big thing here is that this is often an intraday support and resistance level. One of the things that I use the VWAP for, I've actually learned from 40-year veterans, 13. I mean, we talk about this all the time, especially on stocks that are like some of those ETFs, like the semiconductor ETF or the technology ETF or what have you. When those things get extended in either direction from the VWAP, they often like to regress back to the mean. That can be a tradable setup. So volume weighted average price is basically using the stock's volume to determine a price level, which should serve you well for intraday support and resistance.
Zim breakout. And, with VWAP, a lot of institutional traders will trade around VWAP because they have the ability to kind of hide their trades in there because there's a lot of price action happening at that particular level. So that's just something to keep in mind, that you are, you could get the price action change right around there if institutions are stepping in.
Look at this Zim chart that you just look at this quadruple top here, near term quadruple top, 23 and change.
We talked about this coming back up to break that pattern, and here we are. 2380 has been the level that it's been trying to get over those past 3 visits. So we break out to 24. Then we are going to be in a consolidation channel from 22 and 23, 2022 and 2023. Look to the left, you'll see that we're going to be in a bit of a let's call it supply zone. So we could end up breaking out and then kind of consolidating on top of the 2380 level, or we could just get rejected and go lower. Not quite sure what's going to happen yet. We need to see the price action happen first. But here comes 2380.
Really good stuff here on Zim. Folks, I know that the SPY kind of stopped its down move here. This was after the data print that we got here this morning. I'll be honest with you, kind of looking at this, I think this could really kind of continue to come in. I wouldn't actually be shocked if we really made another dash towards 566 to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised.
The unwind is happening, and the concentration of the market being in mostly seven stocks. This is the result of the unwind.
Yep. And that might not just unwind in a day. Chicago Realtor asking about Micron. You know, we can ask Anne-Marie about this for a potential earnings trade. That's coming up here tomorrow. This does actually look like this is really close to a support level here at about 85. Just don't know how you feel about this. Maybe trading back up, especially if the market continues to move down. I don't know. Can ask Anne-Marie if you want, though. We'll see.
So it double bottomed at 85, but it also death crossed last week, or was it 13th, 2 weeks ago? So it needs to get back above not just the 50-day SMA, but also the 200. I don't know how tall of an order that's going to be for this one. And with the semi trade possibly starting to unwind a little bit, I'm not sure that this would be. I mean, I like Micron. I owned it at one point. I don't have it right now, but I like Micron. It's just that I'm not sure that this is the time to really be getting into it. It might be a great trade if this double bottom does end up working out and it gets back above the 50 and 200-day SMAs. I just have concerns on the technical level. That's really it. I wish I could give you some more, something more definitive. But with how much of the semis, like what's the Qs doing today? Are they down pretty bad? Not really. It just seems like we're starting to unwind with the semis, and I'm just not sure that I'd want to really jump into Micron yet. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Real quickly, I was just taking a look at some of those China names as they continue to push higher here. Amanda, did she put those in there? You know what? If she already did that, sorry, I actually haven't opened that here. Let me see if she actually did that. Oh, our happy hour chat's popping off too. Let's go. Let's go. Were these the Micron ones? This is First Solar. SMCI. Boy, we're just giving out all types of trades here. Here's your Micron double butterfly. Here it is. Amanda.
All right.
Yo, can we get a shout out for a minute? We're gonna give what do I give here? What do I give? Wish I had something really good here for Amanda. I'm just gonna go with this is the best I got right now for you, man. I'll come up with something really, come up with a sound effect for you. Here's your Micron trade. If this is difficult to see, number one, adjust your settings to HD in the stream so you can actually see the screen. But I'd also be happy to kind of read these out. I can actually zoom in on it here. Micron October monthly expiry. Looks like you've got the 100, 110, 120 on the upside, 80, 77, 72.5 on the downside. This was Anne-Marie's Micron trade. Appreciate you, Amanda.
You know, you could have like the first verse of Reading Rainbow as a sound for, those bullish butterflies working out. Remember how that song goes?
Reading Rainbow. I mean, like vaguely.
What's the first line? The first verse. Chat, do you know it?
Reading Rainbow lyrics. I'm going to get it for you here in a sec.
He's looking it up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have. I can't believe butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high.
Seems like a pretty good one, doesn't it?
Take a look. It's in a book. Oh, yeah, look at this.
No, there you go. Butterfly in the sky. Yes, butterfly in the sky.
You guys, this is. We out here, folks. We are getting it done today. I love that our chat knows the Reading Rainbow lyrics. That to me, I mean, that's just great news.
Okay.
Amanda, I want the Legend of Zelda opening treasure chest sound.
We might have
that is so good. That is, I was just thinking the same thing. Opening treasure chest.
I was just playing Tears of the Kingdom yesterday. I love me some Zelda games.
Sound
MSS. Ooh, looking ugly. Might still come back down to 135 on this one.
Can you hear this?
Nope. It's in a book.
Oh man, Amanda, that is so good. Did you guys hear any of that, or is that just me?
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay, that's okay. Amanda, that is a really good suggestion. I may have to get to work.
But yeah, so when it comes to, oh man, look at this market go lower. I think you nailed that call on SPY. We are now under 568. When you had said that, it was still above it.
I still think we haven't, we might see another move to the lows here on the SPY. Still thinking that. Give it to me on the Qs. That's what I want it the most, honestly. Qs here at the lows, by the way, 480 here.
Yeah,
476. Think we could get there?
Give us a really good correction so we can rip higher. Yeah, so 566.58. That's the next previous all-time high. It'd be the next level I'd be looking at for SPY.
All right.
Now let me ask you something, Lion. If Micron, I'm not saying it will, but if it does end up going lower, do you have levels of where you'd want to add? Or are you going to sell out before it drops to your cost? If we are going to go lower as a result of this death cross, because we didn't, the golden cross that allowed us to have this huge run in Micron, that happened back in March of 2023. The 50 and the 200 have not touched each other since, before that. And then in September, looks like September 13th, that's when we crossed. So being that this is such it looks like a strong death cross. I think that the price still could end up going lower. I have 74, let's call it 75 and 65 as support areas. Amanda.
GBNY.
No, she's saying it's that the Zelda sound was playing at a frequency that only Bears fans can hear.
Oh, you mean the one on my computer here? Yeah, I wasn't sharing my sound.
That's funny.
13, you had asked earlier about VBFC, the bank that got taken over that was not a Melvin pick, but GBNY is.
Okay. I was really curious about that, but I appreciate you reaching out to him.
Yep, that's okay. This GBNY did pop $4 here.
All right. Zim is actually breaking out of that triple top. So that essentially negated the bearish pattern. Now let's see, where are we going to get some resistance in this one? Well, the consolidation that I had mentioned, but somewhere between here and 30. We'll just say. Not a small range, but
Shaka, you caught that too?
Did I just make a horse?
Yeah. No, it sounded like you were trying to bust out your inner horse there.
Okay. Well,
BNZI, this actually looks like this might try and go a little bit higher. We'll see if it pops it out. MSS probably done here for the day. Is this kind of rolling back down to balance? Really good stuff here today, folks. This has been a really good day.
Yeah, except for MSS. That one's been bad. Everything else has been pretty good. I mean, HSCS, that thing has been sideways. So this could choose a direction and really go in that direction once it's chosen. Because this sideways consolidation, typically what you'll end up seeing is just a big move in one of those directions. Can't say which one it's going to be. Given the bullish activity this over the after hours of pre-market, maybe lower. XHG suspended going up. Yes, I remember that line, Atlas, and that's one of the times when I was in it, and I'd like to get back in it. I just feel that there may be more downside ahead. Now, if I'm wrong about that, fine.
WVE, this is doing a really good job flagging up here. Whoever was on this earlier, you might get another move higher here. 760 pop, maybe.
Jay Rice, is it Berkshire?
Is this another? Oh, Tuesday trivia. Wannabe Mag 7 is Berkshire or Wannabe Mag 7?
I mean, if you look at their market cap, yeah.
I guess I would say what defines a Wannabe Mag 7? That would be my first question.
I would say market cap. Market cap. I mean, the market cap of the Mag 7 are higher than pretty much every other stock.
BNZI is going for those highs here.
I was just guessing, but thank you. Who's back there in Benzinga?
What's that?
Somebody from Benzinga is saying BRK is not making a new high today. I hadn't even.
Oh, that's got to be Bree.
Okay. But yes, because I only threw that out there because they have a pretty large market cap. Let me pull this up. I'll tell you what it is.
BNZI new highs, by the way, as we're talking. Mark's all over it. Mark, I see you, Mark. We out here. We've made several really good trades on this ticker here today. Tell you what, Banzai has really. This has been an ATM for this group here. The anxiety is real. Mark, I feel that one too.
Yes, Berkshire's market cap is almost $1 trillion. That's why I just immediately threw that out there.
It's not Burke, though.
I understand that, but I was just saying that's why I threw it out there.
Jay, can we get a hint? We do have 14 minutes till we move to Anne Marie. So actually, let me see. Is there
it could be Netflix. It could be. I mean, I haven't looked at anything yet, so I don't know what's making a new high that I'm going to have to say. But it could be Netflix. It could be. I had it on the tip of my tongue there just a second ago, but Netflix was like the next one. Yeah. Maybe it's Avago.
Isn't Netflix an actual thing or Mag 7 name?
No, it was at one point, but I think it lost that title because all the other Mag 7, and I think Tesla should lose the title as well.
Okay, so real quick here. We have an all access today. Okay, that's why. So Bree is also guessing Walmart, which is actually not a bad guess at all.
Not a bad guess, but it's got a lower market cap than Berkshire, much lower. 600.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on our hint from Jay. Knowing that we've got an all access, that's going to start here in 3 minutes. So hopefully we get this hint and we get this correct guess pretty soon. Otherwise, we're going to run out of time.
Well, Banzai hit 1120. HSCS finally gave up. Said, you know what? I can't get 450. Time to die. So
that's dark.
Sorry.
That's just, like how you said sorry. That might be the best part about the whole thing. We just having fun, man. We kidding around.
Well, John B's not sorry. He's like, I'm in at 7.
I know a few John B's.
He's in BNZI at 7. I mean, Lyft looks like after that poll, it started to curl. It's trying to come back up to VWAP. If there's anything left there after it touches VWAP. MSS, is this just giving us more false hope by kind of putting in a doji green candle here?
Here's your answer. We didn't get any hint. Jay's just like, F your hint. I'm going straight to the answer. Booking, ticker BKNG is your answer.
With the market
that hit
cap
a new high today. Okay.
With a market cap of 137 billion. I think this is as far away, as far away as you can get from Mag 7.
Oh. Round 1 between 13 and Jay Rice. Fight.
That's just, I mean, I don't see how this could be a Mag 7. It's not even close to $1 trillion. That's just what I think makes up a Mag 7 these days is these ridiculous valuations. So how about this? What makes this a Mag 7 wannabe? Is it because it's got a price of $4,138 and it needs to split? I'm just curious. Fangman, best stock moniker. Yeah, well, when the Fangman. Let's see. That was Facebook, Apple, NVIDIA. What was Google, Microsoft, Amazon? What's the other N?
Netflix, right? Did you say
Netflix.
That one already?
You're right. Netflix. No, because I said NVIDIA. You're right. Netflix. But Fangman,
PDD, is that continuing to trade higher here on PDD? All those China names higher? Look at that. New highs.
111? Nope.
No, but close. That's that going to be that gap breakout. BABA actually is still lower than the initial impulse move. That might be going as well.
All right, so let's see what happens at 111 if PDD can break through it or if it gets rejected there.
AAOI, this is also at the highs. Boy, this is one I never really did well with that.
always been a name in the same realm as Meta, Amazon, Netflix. I guess I just don't understand why that is, but it doesn't matter. This is a great trivia.
Look, we got stumped by the trivia. Jay Rice +1 today. Let's just get to the bottom of this.
And
so here we go. Amanda calling it out. Ryan says he needs cues on the downside, so naturally it curls huge. Here it is. Here is your curl. We're actually still doing good. We'll see on Google. It really does need to move down. We'll see if we end up getting it. Google's actually curled more than the cues have, but still okay. Portillo's pulling back today. I guess that shouldn't be any surprise. FMC having a really nice day today.
Yes. This is what I was wondering about. This is what I was wondering about with these materials, basic materials. When I asked about that yesterday, I mentioned FMC and MP.
Which ticker? CNMP?
No. I mentioned both of these yesterday. FMC and MP.
Excuse me.
Jay Rice gave me. He said that he wouldn't expect these to do well in a slowing economy, which I also agree with. But I think that China stimulus may have helped lift it.
Oh, did someone guess? Oh, okay. I thought someone guessed Mullen as the stock, and I was like, Jay's going to have a heart attack. We don't want to be killing off. We don't want to be killing off our teammates here.
That'd be crazy to have Mullen in the Mag 7.
XHG looks like this is all of a sudden halt, and this just resumed here. Trading higher after the company announced it entered into a securities purchase agreement with WG Master Fund SPC. This XHG moved from 60 cents here today, $1.20. This is a 100% move here.
Oh, look at the PAAS. This has been getting a mention in the chat.
PAAS, you said?
Yeah. PAAS, Pan American Silver Corp. This is a mining company. We've been on this theme as well with rate cuts. You're going to see some of the miners and drillers really start to get going here. But also, this is a silver miner, and silver has been getting quite a lift lately.
Banzai halted to the downside on a huge pull, 947 there. Wasn't this where it was halted? It was like 967. Oh, let's go. I was hoping that we were going to get this. I was honestly hoping we were going to get this before we had to sign off here. April Fool's Poker out of Banzai. Average entry 1018, all out 970. Phew. Okay, so first of all, props to you, because this is a trade that I would not be able to do. Straight, I'm just telling you that right now. There's no way I would have been able to do this trade. That was a masterful job. You dollar cost averaged in your short as it continued to trade up. It must have been one of the hardest things in the world to do, and then you're rewarded with that flush down. Way to go, April. Glad that you're not out here taking a loss. I can understand why you're sweating on that one. Glad it worked for you, though.
Easy Java, silver demand from EV. I have not heard of silver demand from EVs. Copper seems a lot more likely than silver. Silver, I thought, was moving because of a weakening dollar, and also we had the gold silver ratio pretty extended. So silver had a lot of catching up to do. Silver, I think, is moving for different reasons from EV. Copper I think would be moving a lot from EV. What do you folks think? You think it doesn't. I don't know. Copper moved because of China, and guess what? China makes a lot of EVs, so much so that nobody wants them.
Just love to see what the group did here today.
Also,
Webcoin's got the important questions lined up every day. Did you yell Banzai when you got out? Because let me tell you something. If that short was going against me and I got rewarded and got out, I'd have yelled so damn loud, my neighbors would have done a wellness check on me. No question.
Lion, yes, you are right about that. Silver used in solar panels. That I understand. I also think, we did dry up all the surface mining of silver as well. So to mine more silver from this point on is going to be even more expensive endeavor because it's going to be deep mining only.
Anyone trade Vale today? Since we're talking about some of these different metals, that higher here still on the scanner as well.
The South American company.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. They do steel, nickel. They do some silver, as I recall, but I think they're the bulk of what they mine is nickel and silver. Not that nickel isn't going to be in high demand, but
the company has recently undergone a strategic shift towards steel decarbonization, coupled with its focus on high-grade iron ore pellets, direct reduced iron, which is DRI. Positions itself favorably in that market. Don't have anything mentioned here. Looks like maybe they're going away from silver here.
looks like Vale's got some recovery in the happening. It's already reclaimed the 20 and 50-day SMAs. The 200 is next, all the way up at 1232.
Who's surprised here that Lion Atlas actually owns this one? Because I, for one, am not. I am not. You're actually having a nice day. This actually looks like it might break out further here, Lion.
Well, I mean, when you have a company that's making these lows and it still pays and it's the dividend yield continues to increase, look at how much it's paying the dividend, 17%.
Yeah.
It's very, very attractive. It's still attractive down here.
I have a 5% yield. Oh, but you know what, though? I had the last dividend I have in here. The last data I have in here is from 2023.
Oh, so they stopped?
It looks like it.
Let's see if we can find that news.
Amanda done for the day here. So did you, I'll tell you what, the market really ripping here, ripping off that bounce. So we'll see where this ends up settling here. Flatten my Q's futures for my daily goal, plus an extra $300. Let's go. Well done. See if we can roll back over here now that you've got those gains booked.
So with Vale or Vale, or however you pronounce their
Vale, I believe. Yep.
They only pay dividends twice a year.
PDD into that 111, by the way, we just talked about. Good morning, Robert. Great to see you here today.
Yeah, they pay dividends twice a year, and they're supposed to they were supposed to get a dividend earlier this month. I don't know if that happened or not. They were supposed to get one on the 11th of September.
This Burn, BYRN Burna, they make this non-lethal gun that people are buying, right? Demonstrate.
Yeah, and I saw that you were mentioning about DHT. That's
security solutions that do not require the use of lethal force. Yeah, I've seen this a lot.
Yeah, DHT, that I remember seeing a whole bunch of those yellow trucks around.
That's DHL.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah, but is the ticker? DHL is the yellow truck.
You're right. I got that completely wrong. DHT. Okay, let's take a look at this. Since that's not the right company that I'm thinking of. Oh, it's a crude oil tanker company. Okay. Yeah, so rate cuts are going to help this one along as well. Because we talked about the tankers being a really, really interesting play, especially liquid natural gas tankers. Do they have part of those in their fleet? Do you know, Lion Atlas?
Yikes. Bengals offensive tackle Trent Brown done with a knee injury for the year. With devastating loss for the Bengals from last night's game. Yikes. All right. What else do we have here? We got Banzai really kind of done. XHG looks like someone was hitting this one here.
CAPR is trying to reclaim VWAP. Has been trying.
That was run from our list this morning, right?
Yeah, been trying to get above VWAP all morning. Maybe this is the move that actually does it. MSS going even lower. This thing is awful. Oil and liquid gas. Okay. Because I know we've talked about how natural gas, once those export controls could really get that commodity going, those export controls lifted. And with Russia going to be not supplying natural gas to Europe anymore, the European Union, because Gazprom and Ukraine are not renewing their deal for that pipeline pass through. So they may have to get their natural gas from somewhere else. And I think that's where it's going to come from, the United States and liquid natural gas tankers.
How's it going, y'all?
It's going
Wonderful.
great, AB. We have a awesome crew here today, and we've just been banking. We've had tickers all day long. How's it going with you, dude? You cashed any
man.
lays from last night?
Not last night. This weekend
Oh.
was a productive weekend for me, but not last night. No.
Okay.
My
All right. What do you got
buddy-
coming up here? What's the story here?
We've got a quick all access we're going to get to, and then I know you've got Anne Marie after that. So
Yep.
let me just go ahead and get straight into the all access here. We're going to be speaking to Vuzix today, CEO hanging in the background. We got CEO Paul from Vuzix in the background. So let's go ahead and get all access going.
Bye, folks.
All right, guys, traders and investors, you know what we like to do here at Benzinga, and that's bring you exciting publicly traded companies. We've got one today that's on the NASDAQ under ticker VUZI. That's Vuzix. We've got Paul Travers, the CEO, in the background. Let's go ahead and get this all access started. All right, Paul Travers, welcome to Benzinga's All Access. How are you doing today?
Awesome, Aaron, and you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us. Before we get into it, I know we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about today. Do you mind just giving us a brief overview of Vuzix?
Yeah, Vuzix makes smart glasses. These are glasses with computers built into them. You can see some of my friends behind me here are wearing them. And the cool thing about them is our most recent pairs are looking just like a regular pair of glasses. They got displays built into them. You can access artificial intelligence communications with them, right on through to doing augmented reality. We use them in healthcare. People use them for remote support applications. And most recently, the optics that we build in these things, they're called waveguides. We've been enabling a pile of OEM and ODM partners to put our optics in their glasses for the broader markets coming up.
That's awesome, Paul. And I know congratulations on the recent $20 million strategic investment from Quanta Computer. Can you share with us how this partnership came about and its significance for Vuzix?
Yeah, by all means. So we started this OEM business where we would enable third parties with our core technology. These waveguides are very, very difficult to manufacture. They're hard to make in volume, especially, and at price points that can enable the broader markets. Quanta, in November of last year, started a relationship with us where they started developing glasses around our waveguides. They've been looking for sources of waveguides for quite some time. If you think about the size of the market, let's just start with the first gate, and that's going to be equivalent to smartwatches. There are 300 million smartwatches made every year. Somehow you got to get a source of supply that can deliver 300 to 600 million waveguides on an annual basis. And this is where Quanta plays, right? I mean, they're an ODM supplier. They're one of the biggest ones on the planet Earth today. They're a $50 billion market cap company, and they plan on being a big player, not with their brand name, but supplying to all kinds of companies smart glasses, and they will be using Vuzix's waveguides in those glasses. So the relationship has developed over the last year plus. They're really thrilled with our ability to produce in volume. There's just not a lot of companies like Vuzix that are out there.
That's incredible, Paul. This investment, I understand, is structured in 3 tranches. Can you elaborate on the milestones associated with the second and third tranches?
Sure. First of all, it's $20 million, as you mentioned. The first $10 million has already been invested. It was the dollars, I think, a week and a half ago, hit our bank account. And that was dollars that came in invested at $1.30, which is obviously a premium to market for where we're at today. I think we're severely undervalued. The second 2 tranches are related to volume run rates, which Vuzix will easily be able to hit these gates, and the price that they will be investing at is $1.30 or the 30-day VWAP, whichever is higher. So Quanta is a great partner. They know it's not easy to make waveguides. They're investing in our long-term ability to produce in high volumes to address this. Actually, it could be as much as 1 billion smart glasses annually here before this is all said and done.
Wow, just incredible. How will you strategically allocate the use of proceeds to accelerate Vuzix's current operations and growth plans?
this investment is hook, line, and sinker aligned with the strategy of Vuzix. We do make our own products. We're primarily pointed at enterprise. The broader markets, our strategy is around ODM and OEM supply. And so these dollars are coming into Vuzix. Quanta gets a front row seat when it comes to access to our production capabilities. But what they want is exactly what we want and what we're planning on doing with or without their investment. So it's really aligned with high volume production and high volume capacities associated with the smart glasses, ODM supply and OEM supply side of our business.
And then I know the press release mentions co-development opportunities with Quanta. Can you share some specific areas of focus for these joint R&D efforts in the field of new AR and AI smart glasses?
Yeah. So first of all, people aren't going to wear stupid looking. I think there's already plenty of precedents for that. I mean, if you look at, and I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but HoloLens, Magic Leap, Google Glass, I mean, all those products made you look odd. So people just won't wear that. The future is going to be in fashion forward smart glasses. Look at Meta. They were doing very, very well with their Ray-Ban line of glasses. They look just like a regular pair of Ray-Bans. They don't have a display in them yet. What's moving forward here is the display, which will be waveguide based, is Vuzix's technology. And we are helping with the industrial design because it's not just about the waveguide. There's waveguides, there's display engines that are part of it. All this stuff has to come together in industrial design that is fashion forward enough for people to actually want to put the glasses on. Because without that, you're nowhere.
Yeah, I know there's a fine line of what I would consider wearing on my face and what I wouldn't. So, Paul, could you discuss the market opportunities or potential applications that Vuzix is targeting with these jointly developed smart glasses?
Yeah, I mean, this is about the broad market. It's only a matter of time before practically everybody will be using these glasses. When you can put the glasses on and see painted on the road in front of you the directions as opposed to holding your phone up and looking at a map. You're not going to take your phone out again. You'll use the glasses exclusively. When they've got an AI engine running inside the glasses and they'll tell you, you left your keys on the kitchen countertop. So you don't have to go searching for them forever during the day because the glasses know because they're seeing everything that's happening in your life. Artificial intelligence with fashion forward glasses is going to be a game changer. And it's literally going to be the size of the smartphone industry today, which is billions of units on an annual basis.
Got it. We actually have a user in the chat, Robert, who's used one of the products and looks like he said more dev support would be his biggest ask. Do you have any plans to add more dev support for some users?
Yeah, and let me say what's really cool about this is there's a bunch of large West Coast companies that are building artificial intelligence engines and development environments for smart glasses, and they're going to standardize them, which means you'll be able to buy like a CTS compliant phone, like an Android phone, and all those applications that are on the Android website, the Play Store, they just work on that phone. That's what's going to happen in this environment. And their software has been developed by very, very big companies. We all know the names of them. And all of them right now are looking at this third-party solution where they're going to enable ecosystems around smart glasses that are compliant on their systems. And what's nice about that, when you write a piece of software that works on one pair of smart glasses, it'll work on them all. This is the really cool bit. We're working with Quanta to build the glasses that are compliant with those application environments and ecosystems. And it's just going to open up the whole world to the capabilities of smart glasses with applications. Now, you can today go to our website and you can download the developer kits for our current products. And we've got a bunch of stuff that's happening in the world around AI with our glasses, with language translation, with closed captioning for the hearing impaired. There's all kinds of applications coming from bespoke applications. But the cool bit will be when the entire world gets opened up and the AI becomes accessible through the glasses, through some of these giant companies when they make it available. And that is right around the corner.
And then, Paul, you mentioned earlier, you know, some other companies that have tried wearable AR glasses. How will Vuzix, and in collaboration with Quanta, differentiate itself and capture a leading market share in the AR smart glasses space?
Right now, if you just think about the component that we supply, this really important waveguide, Our competitors cost hundreds of dollars a waveguide. Think about that for a minute. You need 2 of them. So if it costs $200 to $500 worth of waveguides alone in a pair of glasses, that's cost prohibitive, and it's never going to be in the broad markets. Vuzix can literally make a waveguide for less than 20 bucks. Wow. So yes, and so you think about maybe we'd sell them for between 30 and 60 bucks a piece, let's say, and they're making 300 million a year. It's a huge multi-billion-dollar opportunity with great margins in it for Vuzix, and it will help Quanta enable this giant ecosystem of business with smart glasses for everybody. Big differentiator is price, performance, and volume. We can hit on all of those parameters at Vuzix.
And then Paul, running up on time here. Lastly, what should investors and customers expect from Vuzix in the coming years as a result of this partnership?
We have this OEM supply business. It's brand new at Vuzix. It's starting to have more and more partners join and buy from Vuzix. You will see partnership after partnership unfold, and you'll see growing revenue streams on that side of our business. It's the beginnings of a seed change in this marketplace. You got to be able to have cost-effective waveguides. We have it. We're going to unlock those doors to literally a 1 billion unit market opportunity in the coming years. And It will be a lot of fun to see that unfold. And people will look back and see our current stock price and say, I sure am glad I got in when I did.
Well, it's been awesome to learn more about Vuzix. I like the it looks like your buddy on the far left on your screen looks like he might beat me in golf while wearing some of the Vuzix glasses and using those to help him plan his shots or maybe even read some putts or something. So
dude, it would be great, right? You're looking at the green.
Yeah.
It just shows you the layout. It's game-changing things, man.
Awesome. Well, again, Paul Travers, the CEO of Vuzix, that's trading on the NASDAQ under ticker VUZI. So go check it out. Paul, thank you again for joining us on Benzinga's All-Access today.
It was a pleasure, Aaron. Thank you also.
Of course. All righty, guys, we've got more content rolling your way. I've got Ryan back in he's still in the background. We're going to bring on Anne-Marie here in a few minutes. What's up, Ryan? Why are you shaking your head?
Because you're literally like having a mind meld with me and you're reading my mind. I was like, Aaron, please ask him about being able to read greens with these smart glasses. Cause how sick would that be if we're out there on the green and it's just telling us exactly where the line is and where we should be putting? That would be sick.
Or what I need more is the glasses to like tell me when I'm lining up for a shot I shouldn't be taking, for it to say like, are you sure you want to hit this shot that only has a 8% chance of probable? Well, then I would still be like, well, 8, I'll take.
Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, let's fill it. We're gonna pull a fill right here. We're gonna hit the 8% shot. Y'all are gonna bow down. No, I know how you play, Aaron.
I need a virtual AI AR caddy on my face at all times, and it would probably shave 5 strokes off my game. All right, well, Ryan, I'll turn it over back to you. Like I said, I know we got Anne-Marie and more great content coming your way, so stay tuned here. Thank you to Paul and the team over at Vuzix for joining us on Benzinga's All Access. We'll bring you another exciting company when we got them.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Aaron. Really appreciate it. We're looking at Robert, who asked about the development kit. Can do it, Ryan. That's why I like the Open SDK. Robert, I tell you what, you need someone to test your prototype green reading glasses. I'm your dude. You just let me know and we'll go ahead and get that done. Hopefully they do open up that more developer support. Really good stuff. Okay, after that exciting all access, it is time for the one and only Anne-Marie. We're going to talk some options. Anne-Marie, how you doing today?
Pretty good. We've had a very interesting two-way tape, right?
Indeed, we have.
The market up and down.
Indeed, we have. I'm actually hoping for another bit of a down move. That down move got bought hard. Yep. We'll see if we roll back over to the lows. Look, we did have 2 suggestions here, but I'm going to turn it over to you. Set the stage for us. And if you need those stock suggestions for trades, we'll hit them.
Absolutely. I'd love them. I've been really actively trading in the futures market this morning. It's been a wild ride, but we can see, I don't know if anybody looks at a heat map in the morning, but it really gives you a flavor of the switch. We just crashed to the bottom and then now working our way back up. I suspect it being a two-way tape, we're going to collapse right back into our VWAPs and find ourselves some general support. But with the Mag 7 being as weak as it is at this juncture, that's one more reason to make me think, hey, listen, I think we fade off of these highs that we've had. So the big question is, what's, first of all, what's tradable, and then, what we can do with the markets. I love getting into another position in NVIDIA, but let's hear what.
Can I jump in here really quick with a shameless plug first? That's what I want to do. You had asked if we take a look at a heat map in the morning, and Anne-Marie, the answer is absolutely yes, we do. The other thing is that Benzinga Pro, courtesy of the release last week, now allows you to draw your own heat maps. So we have them here on the Qs, the Dow, and the SPY, but you can also, with any of your wireless or scanner results, you can also create your own custom heat maps. So yes, we do. And we want to dive into heat maps a little bit more. I think we should in the future.
Absolutely. I love that. I did not know, I got to look in what's new. I look in the what's new place. I'm just always losing the bubble on all the amazing things that come into.
That's what I'm here for. I got
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So what do you guys have in terms of what you're looking at? I've got a couple of trades with NVIDIA I'd like to stare down, but other than that, I really don't have very much. So what were the suggestions?
Okay. Well, first of all, NVIDIA is always a popular ticker, so we can always go with that. But the first suggestion here is one that we've actually talked about a while ago. So maybe it's time to set up another trade here. It's going to be Accenture, ticker ACN. And the really interesting thing here about Accenture is that, first of all, we actually dipped beneath the 200-day. We reclaimed the 200-day. We're sitting above it. And we have an imminent golden cross as that 50 is about to bust through the 200-day to the upside. We also have earnings in 2 days from now.
Perfect.
That's what I thought.
Nice. Okay, so let's take a look at the chart. This is the weekly. We had it was sitting in range for a really long time, and now it's breaking out of that range. Retested it today, and this week, and now we are trying to climb up this wall of worry, right? So coming into earnings, we definitely have got ourselves a catalyst with $14 as our ATR. Let's see what we can do, right? $14 down would be rounded about 320, 325. And then $14 up would be about 350, 355. So let's start pricing things around 325 and 350. See what the options market is saying. Oh, interesting. They've got more vol priced in the market move than in the ATR. They're normally really pretty close. This time, they're good 15% away. So let's 325, 315, 305. Whoops, I sold that butterfly instead of buying it. 325, 315, 305. It's about $1. And then is 325 too close? No, that's about right. And then up here we have 350 to 360 to 370. So these options are very expensive coming into October in terms of saying, hey, what's my risk to reward? But it's still spend 2 to potentially make 8, right? So it's about a 400% return if we can get that. So let's see if it gets, let's see how much more expensive it is up here. 2 days, did you say?
Yeah, it's in 2 days. So that September 27th one does capture it.
Okay,
It's
September
this Thursday.
27th.
Yeah.
Yeah, same prices. October 4, a little bit more expensive. October 11. Yeah, they've got it juiced in here pretty good. November looks a little cheaper, but they definitely have got it juiced. So, okay, if we were to say, hey, listen, let's take a directional trade here, right? Let's say the dips are going to get bought. Let's see what the other side of that looks like. If the dips get bought and we go to...
Folks, is that me or is that Anne-Marie? You chat, you'll have to let us know. Anne-Marie, I think we have a connection issue, but I don't know if it's me or you.
It might be things sitting next to
Chat, help me
each
out.
other.
I think that it's on the other end. Anne-Marie, you there now? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I can see you now.
Okay. Sorry, weather getting kind of sticky here. So we'll see what happens. So if we went, no, not giving us any premium. This one's tough because they've got it really juiced. So let's say if they've got it really juiced, then they're looking for potentially very big moves. So let's go 320 to 310 to 300. And then let's go 355, 365, 375. Still, look at how much they have. Oh, that's November. Let's see if October's any better. Okay, they're pricing in a very big move. So the traders are either going to get smashed or they're going to get rewarded. So the question is, if it's an outsized move that they are trying to combat, do we want to play that game? Let me do a Fibonacci. All right, what's this range here? 335, 289, so that's $40. Let's see what happened the last time we had a week of earnings. It went 286 to the high of 316. What is that, $30? Thereabouts. Which is twice the ATR. Okay, let's see what the outside bet is. If it's a $30 move in either direction, this one's going to need to be 360. Maybe we choose 365, 370. And then this one, we make it 310, 305, 300. Okay, so now we've got them much cheaper. But here's the thing. The spread is only $5 wide. So we've got to be very correct. If we want to give ourselves a little bit of room, we spend a little more, but the probability that we're right almost doubles if it moves in that direction that we think it's going to move. So I think it's better that we try to beef our Our probabilities, we want to make those wider. Let me show you what that probability risk profile looks like. Here, notice you'll see two big peaks, but see how wide it is, the places we can make money, right? So we're going after $1,000. So it's wide to give us the room. This is all of the area that we would potentially have our price action erode fairly significantly. And then here we have this move. If we moved into November, we have more time for it to do what it needs to do. So let's do November. Let's do November. And what it does, it's $1.30. So we've reduced the premium almost in half. And what we're looking for is a solid outsized move. And so it might take time for that to happen. And we need the time. And now we've just given it to ourselves. So let's take a peek again at what that means. If we stare down and we say, okay, let's say, look what happened in the last earnings. It just fell off the cliff. That's why they've got so much vol packed in here. This move is 78 to 36. So that's almost $40. Well, it's over $40. 40? Yeah, $40. So that's going to fall right in line with our middle strike if that happens, right? Notice we'll go either up into 70 or down into the 300, which is a big fat round number. So I like this trade. This one I do like. I'm going to take a snapshot of it so I can remind myself that I've done it. Not a cheapie, but also giving us a fair bit of, upside if it goes in our favor. And it's far enough away so that if we don't win, we'll be able to leave with about a 50% haircut. So when you're buying that, think to yourself, all right, what if this whole thing collapses and I lose 50%? What is going to happen here?
Okay. Awesome. Well, that is the first one.
All right.
Really, really good stuff. The second one here, actually, you'll have to make an executive decision here. It was Micron, but I was informed that you actually threw a Micron trade in the chat. And so I just went ahead and took the liberty of sharing that with the group earlier. So
perfect.
I don't know if you want to maybe even talk about that trade or set up another one, or maybe just go to another ticker entirely. This was a pretty good setup, it looked like. So
yeah, perfect. And these guys report on the 25th.
Yep.
It's a long butterfly. Again, we're spending about $1. Let's see. We did that the last time we did it. We put the trade on. And so it's a little bit green. It's in our favor. And so since you saved that with the chat, let me just talk through why it is we did it. One, monster old resistance, big fat round number that we just lost. So if it moves up, it's going to really try and run into that 100, get up over it, and then potentially collapse. I need to put an alert at this price point. I just realized that I had not. And if it falls, I mean, we've got potentially all the way down into this 79, 77 area, which is the next ledge of old resistance and new support. You know, a lot of things going on here, but I do love this trade. This is a very nice trade. And now you guys can get it. You might have to pay a couple more pennies for it, but it is definitely moving in the next direction. Notice the big thing about this one is that we really expect it to bounce. That's why our long call butterfly is so much more expensive. And if it falls off a cliff, we've got ourselves the opportunity to really make gains on that if it collapses. So that's why we put that in there. It's pretty skewed. Normally the puts and calls are around about the same price. These, we skewed it because we've been building a base for 3 weeks and we expect it to rise where we can leave the trade. And then, you know, if it gives it all back like this, see how it bounced super high and then gave it all back? This might end up being a very nice two-way trade where we make money on the call side and we make money on the put side.
Okay. I like this one. As soon as I saw the setup on this one, I was like, yeah, we got to ask about this. And then lo and behold, you already had one. Okay. So those were the two from the chat. I suppose if there's another one out here, you folks could let us know, but I didn't see any. So if there's another one that you have, I would say, let's go with that.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at NVIDIA.
Okay. NVIDIA is always popular.
Yeah. And we recently covered our NVIDIA. And so because it was a earnings trade and then we were done with it. And now we're looking at another formation. And really, what is this one? A 30 or no, that might be a 14 or something like that. Yeah. So it's trying to hold its moving averages. This I've added just here lately. It's called the average directional index. And the slope of it tells you the strength of the move. So if the slope is up, whatever the move is strong and is likely to continue. If the slope is down and the ADX is up, it tells us the strength of the move is, if it's up, the strength of the move to the downside is strong. So it takes a little bit of thinking about how you might use it. I would overlay it with something like, you know, you could do it on a TTM squeeze or, you know, a stochastic or something like that. But what you want to do is if you're in trend, then you want to see that directional index saying, yes, the trend that you're in is strong. And so right now we're in this space where we don't really have any kind of strengthening trend at all. But we do notice that whenever it gets into this low area around 20, things start to happen. So we would want to push it off into November, right? Now, earnings are November 25th, and the option chains expire on the 15th, I believe. So the trade we would take would be a trade that would move into earnings, but also we would cover it before the earnings space. So there are several positions that we could look at depending on what your risk profile is like. So the first thing is, one, we get to November. That's the butterfly we sold. We're not there anymore. Let's get to November. Let's see what the chains are telling us. A lot of action, right? Still pretty bullish, but all of a sudden now we've got some of these big numbers up at 105. And look at this one at the big fat round number of 100. There's 43,000 of them there. And so what this is going to be is sort of the trade that says, if we get ourselves some kind of big move, this price action is going to take us into these edges. So the first and least risk tolerant would be the short iron condor. And we'd go all the way down to 100 to 95, and we'd go all the way up to 130 and 135. Okay, so what this gives us is almost 50% of the entire spread. So what we want the chart to do is leak. This is also a high probability trade in my mind. Notice we've got low deltas, 30 or less. Some guys like to use 20. And we are focusing on deeper fades because of any potential worries that we might have, right? So this is what we're looking at here. The delta here is 16, so that's super strong. And we're collecting $2. So absolutely love this. On top of the fact that our directional index is suggesting, listen, we're not really going anywhere. It might go up, but it might come down, and it might go up, but it might come down. Okay, so that's the strongest one in terms of being least risk tolerant and most likely to erode. So you want about a 50% profit margin there. And so when it erodes to about $1, you get out and you leave the trade. Now, here's the next one. Assuming that the price action sitting in the middle is going to move either to the top of the range at 135 or the bottom of the range down there at the 100 marker, right? That's the real, even though I have this sitting at 91, it really has broken and tested 100 several times, enough for us to go, they're probably going to hold that zone. So if we have that, then we could think about, all right, well, what if we took a butterfly at that same time and we said, let's do 100 and then let's do 130 because we're expecting a little price compression. So let's see what that gives us. If we have the 130, now, of course, you're not going to be able to take all of these in this account in your same account because they're going to be different. If you decide, hey, I want to take both of them and have them pay for each other, you could do the 132. You can make it 6 wide with the 138. And then 6 wide would be the 144.
Looks like you hit 143. So it might change your pricing a little there. It's all good.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, not by much at all. Not at all, as a matter of fact. Okay. And then let me move this up. And then you could say, all right, maybe I won't do the 100. Maybe I'll do the 103 to 98. That's 5, sorry. Lord have mercy. I did go to college to be a mathematician. I just want you to know. We just
mathematician is what I like to call it.
We actually never did numbers very much, to be honest.
Yeah, it's all letters when you get to that advanced math.
Yeah. Whoa.
Funny.
Wrong way. Did that the wrong way. So we have 103 to 97 to 92. All right. And so that's 90 cents. And you're allowed to take all of them here. And so the credit that you get opens up the opportunity for you sitting around in the space, and you have a way to capitalize on both of them, right? You want this one in November to just erode a little. So once you use theta decay there, you can maybe get $1, and then this trade essentially becomes free.
Cool. All right. Well, that was awesome. I know we shifted our time frame here a little bit late, but it was great that we had nothing behind us because we were able to get the full show in there and all the picks in there. So really, really good stuff. Okay. Hopefully you folks enjoyed that. Anne-Marie, cannot thank you enough for all of this. We're going to be back on Friday. All right.
Yes, absolutely. Let's hope that this hurricane is gone because I live on the water here down on the Gulf. And so, yeah, we're doing all kinds of prep right now. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay,
It's usually
good
an
luck.
adventure.
Yeah, hey, I like the optimistic attitude. Good luck, hunker down. It looks like we're getting some rain here. Maybe it's related to that hurricane. I don't know, but stay safe. We'll be back here on Friday. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. See ya.